start soon. You're listening to Bowie Baysox Baseball. Our coverage of today's game will start soon. You're listening to Bowie Baysox Baseball. Our coverage of today's game will start soon. You're listening to Bowie Baysox Baseball. Our coverage of today's game will start soon. You're listening to Bowie Baysox Baseball. Our coverage of today's game will start soon. You're listening to Bowie Baysox Baseball. Our coverage of today's game will start soon. You're listening to Bowie Baysox Baseball. Our coverage of today's game will start soon. You're listening to Bowie Baysox Baseball. Our coverage of today's game will start soon. You're listening to Bowie Baysox Baseball. Our coverage of today's game will start soon. You're listening to Bowie Baysox Baseball. Our coverage of today's game will start soon. You're listening to Bowie Baysox Baseball. Our coverage of today's game will start soon. You're listening to Bowie Baysox Baseball. Our coverage of today's game will start soon. You're listening to Bowie Baysox Baseball. Our coverage of today's game will start soon. You're listening to Bowie Baysox Baseball. Our coverage of today's game will start soon. You're listening to Bowie Baysox Baseball. Our coverage of today's game will start soon. You're listening to Bowie Baysox Baseball. Our coverage of today's game will start soon. You're listening to Bowie Baysox Baseball. Our coverage of today's game will start soon.
Welcome to Bowie Baysox Baseball. It's time now for the DCA Imaging Systems pregame show.
It's the DCA Imaging Systems pregame show from Canal Park as we're getting set for Game 2 in this 7-game series between the Akron Rubber Ducks and your Bowie Baysox. So glad you're with us. Matt Sabatas with you from Akron, Ohio, and unfortunately, the Baysox were just so close last night. The winning streak had to come to an end at some point, and as unfortunate as it was to see, it come to a close in walk-off fashion last night, in which Bowie was one strike away from extending the win streak to 9 consecutive games twice instead allowed 3 consecutive RBI singles to lose 6-5. All that means is Bowie just has to start from scratch. But they're not fully starting from scratch. Of course, they've still got the best record in the Eastern League right now in the second half. The pieces are still there for Bowie. They just had one sour note on the day. If they can just turn it around and maybe get some good and early offense today, hopefully that should be enough for the pitching staff to carry through on what's still been a good run here in the second half. As we get going here from Canal Park in Akron, let's set you up for today's game with the numbers as Bowie comes in for game number 103 on the season, a 51-51 record, a coin flip with a one-game losing streak. Bowie is still 8-2 over their last 10. They are 23-29 when playing on the road. Akron is coming in for game number 102 on the season, a 56-45 record, a 4-game winning streak for the Rubber Ducks, and they are also 8-2 over their last 10. Akron started the second half of the season at just 4-11, but they have really turned things around, going 12-5 since, as they are 30-22 when playing at home. In the second half, Bowie has the best record in the Eastern League at 24-9. Akron is 16-16 in the second half. They are 7.5 games behind Bowie as the Baysox lead the Southwest Division. Akron is in third. Altoona is in fourth, 1 game behind Akron, and Erie is still in second. The Seawolves entered today 2 games back of Bowie following last night's loss to the Baysox and a win for the Seawolves. But again, Akron, even though they are 7.5 games back and only 500 in the second half, there's still a legitimate chance for them as these two teams still play 12 more times here in the second half. The Baysox and the Rubber Ducks will conclude this 7-game series over the remainder of the week, and then they finish the regular season at this ballpark with a 6-game series. So plenty of time for Bowie and Akron to go really back and forth. Bowie just needs to make sure they can keep the Ducks at arm's length, especially in this series before they head home for a 2-week road trip. Starting pitching matchup for today's game sees Gavin Williams go for Akron while Garrett Stallings will get the ball for Bowie. Williams, a 1-3 record, but a 1.98 ERA. He just hasn't been getting the run support, but he has been one of the best pitching prospects in the Guardians organization this year and was well deserving of his promotion from High A at the end of the first half, despite still being in just his first professional season. With the High A squad, Williams only allowed multiple runs in just 1 of his 9 starts while striking out 5 batters in every start. Now, he has had a handful of shorter outings since joining Akron and a couple of clunker performances, but he still struck out at least 5 batters in half of his outings, including a win against Bowie, perhaps his best start at the Double-A level where he tossed 5 innings of 1-hit ball. With Double-A, Williams has been giving up fly balls at a decent rate. While he has struck out 42 batters in 36 1/3 innings, 62% of the balls put in play against him have been fly balls, and he has already allowed 4 home runs. Bowie did use the home run last night to cut a big chunk into Akron's early lead and take a lead themselves. It was a 3-run home run by Cesar Prieto, but they might need to do it again, all depending on how Williams tosses them, of course. But Williams does play on the top half of the zone. His mid-90s fastball usually draws swings and misses on the top half, and then he's been able to use it for just straight gas at points. He hit triple digits a few times this season, including a couple of times when he was at Prince George's Stadium. He's got a 2-plane curveball as well as a slider and a changeup as well. That curveball can be tough. Bowie will need to be careful with it, of course. Garrett Stallings, a 5-8 record and a 6.95 ERA, but that ERA has drastically shrunk over the last month plus. Since the start of July, Stallings has fired 30 1/3 innings for Bowie. He has struck out 37 batters and walked only 3, and he sports a 1.78 ERA since the start of July. Of course, Stallings is making his 3rd start since returning back to the rotation after his 4-appearance vacation into the bullpen that really turned his season back around. Stallings is coming off of consecutive 5 2/3 innings performances against Altoona and Harrisburg, where he gave up a combined 3 earned runs, struck out 10, and only walked 2. But he did allow 9 hits to the Senators his last time out. He allowed at least 1 base hit in every inning except the 3rd inning, in which he allowed allowed 2 runs, both earned. It'll be on Stallings to see how he can avoid some of the bats today. His 4-seam fastball and slider are drawing plenty of swings. He just needs to miss some of the bats. That's what's going to be so important for Garrett Stallings today. If he can get that going, then he should be up in line for another massive performance. The last time he faced off against Akron, it was a career day for the right-hander. 6 innings in a long relief appearance, but he struck out a career-high 10 batters. It was phenomenal. So we'll see what he can do again today for Bowie, as Stallings and Williams will go face-to-face. A couple of roster updates to get you ahead of on this one, as Akron does not make any changes, but Bowie does. Catcher Michael Manticon has been transferred from Bowie back to Single-A Delmarva. Manticon did appear in the midst of the Sunday clobbering for Bowie over Harrisburg, 18-1. After Maverick Hanley left mid-game, Manticon took over for his Double-A debut. Didn't make much noise, and with Cody Roberts back in, he was dealing with something day-to-day Roberts. With Roberts back, Manticon heads back to Single-A, so Bowie only needs the 2 catchers. And Andrew Dashbach has been reinstated from the injured list. Fortunately, that issue with his bicep that sidelined him a little bit after a lame tag in the Altoona series didn't hurt him too much. So Bowie will gladly have Dashbach back in at first base today. We've got plenty coming up here on the DCA Imaging Systems pregame show. When we return, we chat with relief pitcher Griffin McClarty, get his thoughts on what's been so great for this entire bullpen of Bowie's. We're back after this. You're listening to Baysox Baseball.
From sprains to stitches, sore throats to stomach aches, and pulled muscles to poison ivy, care is around the corner at Patient First. Walk in to see a doctor from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day of the year. X-rays, lab tests, and prescription drugs are on site, and most major insurance plans are accepted. For routine illnesses and injuries, Patient First is here for you. Patient First, the name fits.
Patient First, proud partner of the Bowie Baysox, open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day.
There's plenty going on at the ballpark on Saturday, August 27th. Bowie will be hosting a special tribute to Negro League Baseball, as well as an exhibit presented by the Josh Gibson Foundation with special artifacts from the Hall of Famer's career, as well as the Baysox huge Touch a Truck event featuring dozens of construction, excavation, emergency vehicles, and trucks for all fans to enjoy and interact with exhibits as well. It begins at 4:30 and is going to run till 6:30 ahead of the 6:35 game. It's all presented by Miss Utility and comes your way on a busy Saturday, August 27th, so get your tickets at baysox.com.
Everyone deserves a great smile, and Rad Orthodontics is here to help you, Bowie Baysox fans. Rad Orthodontics accepts most insurance, and whether it's braces or Invisalign aligners, anyone can get the smile they've always wanted with our flexible payment options. With 2 of the country's leading orthodontists right here in the DC area, we love to see Baysox fans smile with confidence. So get that amazing smile you deserve. Visit radsmile.com today and book your free consult. That's radsmile.com for Rad Orthodontics, official smile provider of the Bowie Baysox.
We're checking back in on the DCA Imaging Systems pregame show, getting set for Game 2 between Bowie and Akron. As Bowie comes back on the heels of their 8-game winning streak, trying to start a new one. We're chatting with relief pitcher Griffin McClarty, who came in and spun 2 scoreless innings last night, mowed through the batters following Drew Rom's 5. What pitch was working best for you last night, Griff?
I felt good with the slider. That's my best out pitch to righties, and then it's also something good to attack the lefties with, kind of backdoor and get them out front, get them off the fastball. So I felt good spinning it in there yesterday.
Slider has really been on a big revolution, it seems, from this staff, and Josh Conway has put in a lot of effort, it seems, with a lot of you guys. Have you seen a lot of improvements with your slider this year?
Yeah, I knew early in the season I had developed it from last year, and bringing it into this year, I knew I had a good pitch with it. I just needed to find more consistency and how to really attack with it in the game and be confident to use it aggressively and know that it's a good pitch and let the pitch work through the zone and be more confident throwing it for strikes. And so it's been giving me better outcomes doing that.
So which would you think is better for the outcomes, trying to get the swing and miss stuff on it, or maybe trying to pinpoint it on the edge of the zone and get a called strike?
Honestly, for me, I'm really just going for a quality strike, and like I said, you want to trust your stuff that it's good enough that if it is a quality strike, you can still produce a swing and miss, and if not, hopefully weak contact. So I don't think necessarily swing and miss unless it's a certain batter, certain situation. But 8 times out of 10, you're really just going for a quality strike, and you let the pitch work from there, and you you did your job, and now it's up to the hitter.
As we're here with Griffin McClarty on the pregame show, the fastballs have definitely been jumping a little bit too from the relief corps as well. It seems like there's been a lot of movement from them lately. Connor Lopridge has kind of been the shining star, at least from my perspective, on the way he's been doing that. Has that been something that you've been working on, or at least picking up from your perspective on a lot of great improvements on the fastball from the bullpen?
Yeah, I think as the season goes along, we're late in the year now, but we've put in a steady amount of work, every one of us down there, and we come to the field every day with something to improve. And especially with the fastball, that's something, every time you throw the ball, you're pretty much throwing a fastball just in catch play. So I think as the season goes on, people really find their stride with how to adjust that pitch and how to attack with it. And I think through our plyo work and our mound work and whatever we do before the game, I think it adds to our fastball repertoire to really get better with it. So I think everyone's been doing well.
From your perspective, how much does the data and the data visualization help you in terms of improving your individual pitches? Because from our perspective, mine personally, as someone representative of perhaps the media and the average fan, we don't get access to a lot of that. So how does that necessarily help you when it comes to improving your stuff and getting better day to day?
Yeah, it's definitely very important. We have the TrackMan of data available when we touch the mound just for a quick bullpen in between outings. And it is great to see based on, okay, I'm holding my hand here on the ball today and I want to produce this type of spin, and you can see directly. You can watch it with your eyes, but you can also see it on the data. Does what you see match what it's really doing? And it is good to see that mind-body connection to see, okay, that is what it is. That's what it needs to be. And I think the data is just there to keep you accountable and back you up. But at the end of the day, we're all good with our eyes and we can still see what's going on. But it is just a good stepping stone for development on certain pitches. Yeah.
It's an extra piece.
Yeah, exactly. It's not everything, but it's definitely there to help. And I think everyone on staff uses it well. They don't abuse it, but it's part of the game now, and it's there for a reason to help. Yeah.
As we continue with Griffin McClarty here on the pregame show, question I usually like to ask a lot of pitchers, especially relief guys. Who do you think has, quote, the nastiest pitch on staff?
God, the nastiest pitch, a lot of guys, I like Shelton's slider.
That's the routine answer, yeah.
Perkins loves that thing, and I would too if I had it, I got a good slider, but his is gross. I like Lopert's cutters. His cutter is really nasty, though, but, everyone's got something to bring to the table, whether Prizzy's change up, everyone's got something, but I guess you might have to go with Perk's slider.
Yeah. So one of the things that I've had this conversation with Shelton a little bit this season, too, is that there's not necessarily predefined roles in terms of the bullpen for this team. There's not a genuine closer. There's not a setup guy. It's just guys going out at the best possible opportunity. How do you like that sort of scenario for you as a relief pitcher?
Yeah, it's interesting, because it is the minor leagues and we're all here to develop. So like you said, there's not really any set in stone situation. Maybe every now and then you would like to put a guy in a different place, but for the most part, we're just relief pitchers and we all fill a similar role. So I think it's good for us in development to be able to attack different situations, whether, okay, maybe the starter got pushed around and you're coming in the second inning and you need to go 3, or maybe, hey, today you've got the 8th, go give them your best stuff and strike out 2 guys. Yeah. So I think it's just good to develop in every situation relief pitching has to offer. Yeah. So I think it just helps you grow as a player.
Yeah. And then lastly, I like to ask this of everyone on the road trips. At the end of a long day, you get back to the hotel, maybe you ordered some delivery from the DoorDash, but what do you put on your laptop to close the night? What's the binge show lately for you?
Yeah, sometimes I just watch YouTube, honestly. Okay. I can't ever commit to a show. I just play chess or watch YouTube and watch a baseball game, honestly. I haven't gotten too much into shows, but maybe I'll find something soon, yeah. Do
you have a specific channel that you like to watch? Are there certain content creators or just whatever's kind of lately in your suggested pages?
No, it's just whatever pops up. I just find myself in the rabbit hole of the day.
Just something fun. I totally get that. Griffin, thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Matt.
That's Griffin McClarty here on the DCA Imaging Systems pregame show. We'll step aside. Be back in a bit. You're listening to Baysox Baseball.
Are you interested in beginning or expanding on a career in the pipe fitting, pipe welding, or HVAC service industry? Are you interested in a career path that will set you up for life without experiencing any college debt? If you are interested in these things and you live in the D.C. area, the Steamfitters UA Local 602 Apprenticeship Program is the best choice for you. For more information about our apprenticeship program and how to apply, please visit steamfitters-602.org. That's steamfitters-602.org.
Hey kids, the Baysox Futures Club is the best way to be a fan of the Baysox, and it's completely free for kids ages 3 through 12. Futures Club members get access to special members-only events, discount ticket offers, and free gifts for just signing up. Parents, head over to Baysox.com to sign up your kids, so don't miss out on all the promotions and giveaways at Prince George's Stadium this season and next. The Baysox Futures Club. Sign up now at Baysox.com.
Now is proud to partner with the Bowie Baysox and provide their pest control services. For all your residential and commercial pest control needs, call Pest Now. For general pest control, termite control, mosquito control, and all other pest control services, call Pest Now. You can reach us at 301-231-8300 or visit us online at www.pestnow.com.
We're back to Canal Park one final time here on the DCA Imaging Systems pregame show, getting set for Game 2 between Bowie and Akron, as the Baysox will be going against a former first-round pick in Gavin Williams today. It'll be Colton Cowser leading off as Connor Norby gets the day. Joey Ortiz and Cesar Prieto will follow as each of those three bump up a slot. Hudson Haskin will bat 4th. Kobe Mayo 5th. Greg Cullen bats 6th. Cody Roberts back in the lineup batting 7th. Andrew Dashbach, fresh off the injured list, will bat 8th, and Zach Watson will bat 9th. We step aside right now, however, one final time as we get ready for first pitch. When we return, we've got all the play-by-play for Bowie and Akron. We're back after this. You're listening to Baysox Baseball.
Fielder's Choice Flex Packs with the Bowie Baysox. The best value to see the best games at Prince George's Stadium. You could save up to 30% on your selected seat from day one and enjoy a number of exclusive member benefits, including flexible exchange options, discounts on suite rentals, special access to the Diamond View restaurant, and a free members collectible at your first home game of the year. Get your pack now by calling 301-464-4865 or heading online to baysox.com.
Sky Shooter Displays by ZY Pyrotechnics will be lighting up the sky with top-of-the-line fireworks shows following Baysox games all season long. We will give you the best bang for your buck. Sky Shooter Displays include traditional shows, true pyro musicals, custom choreographed plays, and much more. The night sky is truly limitless, so don't be shy. Give ZY a try. Find out more by calling us at 570-328-1361 or visit us online, zypyrotechnics.com.
At DCA Imaging Systems, we provide a tenured team of office technology professionals ready to be your trusted advisors. From document creation, output devices, scanning and workflow, to document security and storage, we understand people print, not printers. Give DCA Imaging a call, 301-577-1021, or find out more about how we can help you. DCAimaging.com. DCA Imaging Systems, office technology made easy.
It's time for Bowie Baysox Baseball. The Baysox are the AA affiliate of the Baltimore Orioles. Coverage of the 2022 Bowie Baysox season is brought to you by Chesapeake Employers Insurance, DCA Imaging Systems, On the Green, Patient First, Royal Farms, Smile Doctors, and ZY Pyrotechnics. And now, live from the ballpark, it's time for Bowie Baysox Baseball.
We're ready to go from Canal Park here in Akron. It's Game 2 of this 7-game series between the Akron Rubber Ducks and your Bowie Baysox. Glad you're with us. Matt Sabatis with you from downtown Akron, Ohio. And as right-hander, Gavin Williams warms on the mound for Akron, the starting lineup for the Bowie Baysox that he'll face looks like this. Leading off in left field is the left-hander, Colton Cowser, followed by Joey Ortiz at shortstop, batting second. Cesar Prieto is at second base batting third. Hudson Haskin in center field bats fourth. Kobe Mayo is the third baseman. He's batting fifth. Greg Cullen, the DH, bats sixth. Cody Roberts is the catcher batting seventh. Andrew Dashbach at first base eighth. And Zach Watson is in right field batting ninth. The Baysox are the AA affiliate of the Baltimore Orioles. They're managed by Kyle Moore, assisted by Brandon Becker, Josh Conway, Tim DeJohn, Billy Facto, and Chandler Geller. Calvin Christensen is the video coordinator. Lindsey Birchfield and Blake Wooten are the athletic trainers. Bowie is 51-51 on the season, a coin flip this year, as they're 8-2 over their last 10, 23-29 on the road, and 24-9 in the second half, the best record in the Eastern League. They lead the Southwest Division, 2 games ahead of second place Erie. Again, the Baysox lineup features Colton Cowser, Joey Ortiz, and Cesar Prieto, Hudson Haskin, Kobe Mayo, and Greg Cullen, Cody Roberts, Andrew Dashbach, and Zach Watson, all to face off against Gavin Williams on the mound. Canal Park here in Akron is 330 feet down the line to both left and right field, 400 feet to straightaway center, but that's to one of the deepest parts of center field. There is a crook in at a little bit of right center, but still mostly straightaway center, but it's 400 feet to the deepest part of straightaway center. Very interesting outfield designs at this ballpark as Colton Cowser digs in to start things out for Bowie. Left-hander hitting .357 this season in 11-18 OPS in 31 games played, 8 doubles, no triples, 8 homers, 24 runs batted in. Third base plays in on the baseline, right side of the infield very slightly on the shift as the first pitch comes home from Gavin Williams. It's a fastball, misses up and away for ball one. We're underway at 6:37 p.m. on an 80-degree, partly cloudy, now mostly sunny day here at Canal Park in Akron. As the 1-0 pitch comes into Cowser, and he sprays it foul the other way. Count runs even at a ball and a strike. Bowie is coming off of a heartbreaking loss last night. They entered this series riding an 8-game winning streak, their longest of the season, and at that point the longest active in minor league baseball. And they were 1 strike away from extending it to 9 consecutive wins. Twice. The 1-1 misses up and away, a breaking ball, and the count goes to 2 balls and a strike on Cowser. Bowie led 5-3 in the bottom of the 9th inning. After a couple of singles and a couple of outs, Akron rallied 3 consecutive RBI singles to win the game. 2-1 pitch, and Cowser flinches on a high fastball. Count runs to 3 balls and 1 strike. Clayton McGinnis was charged with the blown save and loss. Easton Lucas allowed the base hit that won the game, but the run went to McGinnis. 3-1. Fastball up and away, and ball 4 to open the day. Colton Cowser draws the leadoff walk, and, well, he takes the spot of Connor Norby in the leadoff slot. Cowser doesn't miss a beat in opening up games strong for Bowie. Cowser's actually been a pretty good leadoff bat for the Baysox this season. Norby's just been slightly better, and to have Cowser right behind him, well, I mean, why not? So now here's Joey Ortiz, batting second today, a .269 average with a .773 OPS in 94 games with the Baysox. First pitch into the right-hander is down and inside, a breaking ball, starts the count out at 1-0. 22 doubles and 4 triples, 11 home runs, 60 runs batted in for Ortiz this season. He's on the hottest run of any batter for Bowie over the course of the entire campaign. As the 1-0 comes in, and Ortiz gets a piece of it into the mid of the catcher. Curveball down, and the count runs even at a ball and a strike. As Ortiz rides a 16-game hit streak for Bowie. Since the start of July, his average is still over 400 at 405. He's sitting at 407 here in August. As Williams holds, fires the 1-1. And Ortiz sprays it foul the other way. Count runs to a ball and 2 strikes now on a 98-mile-an-hour fastball just on the upper outside edge. It's a great fastball for Williams. It got to triple digits a couple of times back when these two teams faced off against each other at Prince George's Stadium. As Cowser takes a brief lead off of first base, held on by Micah Prees at the bag, infield playing straight up. Decent gap on the right side, though, with the runner being held on. 1-2 pitch to Ortiz. Sprayed foul again right side, and the count stays. Fastball clipped at 99. But Ortiz has been upping his rates to the opposite field as the season has progressed. A little bit over 1/3 of the time now he's going to the right side. But he's still a relatively often pull hitter. Just under 45%. As Williams sets, a ball and 2 strikes, runner at first, no one out. Pitch, Ortiz bounces it up the middle, through Williams' legs and into center field for a base hit. 17 consecutive games for Joey Ortiz. A single here in the first inning, and the Baysox have runners at first and second with no one out to get things going. Well, Bowie came up empty in the first inning yesterday after scoring in the first inning in 5 of the 6 games against Harrisburg, but now they have a big opportunity to strike early here and make sure that Garrett Stallings has a little bit of breathing room. Stallings will get the ball in the bottom half of the first, but Cesar Prieto digs in now to try and give Bowie the early edge. .279 average for the lefty Prieto, a .706 OPS in 60 games. 17 doubles, no triples, 3 homers, 28 runs batted in. First pitch in, and Prieto gets a piece of it, fouled off of the mid of the catcher and back to the screen. 0-1 to start. 3-run home run last night for Cesar Prieto. He was batting in the 5 slot. He went 2 for 4 overall with a bunt single and the 3-run blast. He ended his day flying out to left field twice. But a runner in scoring position here. Prieto is 6 for 19 against Akron this series. The 0-1, sprayed out toward right center field. This one's down for a base hit. Kauser had to hover, waiting to see if it could be caught in center field by Chris Roller, so Kauser can only advance 1 base. But it's an extra single for Prieto. He's got hits in back-to-back games now, and it loads the bases. Back-to-back singles for Bowie after Kauser draws the leadoff walk. And now here's Hudson Haskin. Bases loaded, no one out in the top of the first inning. Haskin this season is 3 for 9 with the bases loaded, one of Bowie's grand slams. First pitch, and he pops it foul the other way out of play. Count opens up at 0-1. It's a .272 average for Hudson Haskin this season, an .848 OPS. 79 games played for the Baysox with 20 doubles, 3 triples, 11 homers, 39 runs batted in. His grand slam this year actually came against Akron. It was in the 20-6 clubbing. That was back in, I want to say, late April. 0-1 pitch. Haskin watches a fastball called for strike in the lower inside corner at 98. It's 0-2. But Haskin 3 for 9 with the bases loaded, 12 runs batted in. He's struck out 3 times, has not drawn a walk. I think he has been hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. He is the magnet. Here's the 0-2, and Haskin knuckles it over to first, picked in the air and sent back to second, but just late. Micah Prees with a great reaction on it as Haskin just barely lines out a soft liner. Joey Ortiz was able to scamper back to second base in time, and there's 1 away. Very close play, good reaction times all around, both defensively and offensively. Rest of the defense for Akron, from left to right in the outfield, you've got Julian Escobedo, Chris Roller, and John Kenzie Noel. Daniel Schneeman at third, Jose Tena at short, Brian Rocchio at second, and Micah Prees at first. First pitch to Kobe Mayo is a slider, misses down and away. It's 1-0. Mayo is 0 for 3 with the bases loaded this season with Bowie. He has struck out all 3 times. Brian Lavastida catches behind the plate for Gavin Williams on the mound, as Bowie has them loaded with only 1 out. Here's the 1-0. Slider down and away again, and it's 2-0. Kobe Mayo, 3 for 15 in his young Double-A career. Just his 5th game, a .694 OPS. 1 home run, 3 runs batted in, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks. As Williams sets out of the stretch, third base side of the rubber. Fires the 2-0 to Mayo, and it's swung on and lifted out toward right field. Might be deep enough to score the run as Noel curls to his left, now runs down on it, makes the catch. He'll fire as Kauser tags. The throw is way up and on time, and they got him. Ah, jeez, the Baysox load the bases, and Noel fires a missile to complete the double play, and Bowie gets nothing out of it. We go to the bottom of the first. Bowie nothing, Akron on the way to bat. You're listening to Baysox Baseball.
When your commercial plumbing project calls for a job done safely and on time, then your job calls for the plumbers of Local 5 Washington, D.C. Local 5 will always deliver the most skilled and well-trained plumbing craftsmen in the DMV. If you're a contractor who needs safe jobs done well, You need the plumbers of Local 5 Washington, D.C. Start your partnership with them today. Visit local5plumbers.org. That's local5plumbers.org.
At Luminous Health, we want you to feel your best. This summer, take the time to catch up on your annual health screenings. Visit us at our Anne Arundel Medical Center, Doctors Community Medical Center, or one of our primary care offices in your neighborhood. At Luminous Health, you are the MVP. Learn more at luminoushealth.org.
Well, Bowie missed out on a golden opportunity to score in the first inning. They loaded the bases before an out was recorded. But a line out to first and a fly out into a double play spoiled the chance as Bowie had a runner thrown out at home plate. As we move to the bottom of the first, still a scoreless game. It'll be on Garrett Stallings to try and make sure it stays that way. As Stallings warms on the mound for Bowie, the starting lineup for the Rubber Ducks that he'll face looks like this. Leading off at shortstop, you've got Jose Tena, followed by Brian Rocchio at second base, batting second. Brian Lavastida is the catcher, batting third. Micah Preeves is the first baseman, batting fourth. John Kenzie Noel in right field, bats fifth. Daniel Schneemann at third base, sixth. Chris Roller is in center field, batting seventh. Reynel Delgado, the DH, bats eighth. And Julian Escobedo is in left field, batting ninth. Rubber Ducks are the AA affiliate of the Cleveland Guardians, managed by Rugelis Odor, assisted by Owen Dew, Junior Patansis, Mike Mergenthaler, and Juan De La Cruz. Jacob Lagan is the athletic trainer. Akron is 56-45 on the season, riding a 4-game winning streak, 30-22 at home, and 16-16 in the second half. And again, the Akron lineup features Tano, Rocchio, Lavastida, Prees, Noel, Schneemann, Roller, Delgado, Escobedo, all to face off against Garrett Stallings on the mound. As the shortstop Tana steps in, left-hander hitting .266 this season, a .698 OPS. 90 games played, 19 doubles, 4 triples, 7 homers, 42 runs batted in. And they'll start with a slight shift on for him, as the first pitch in from Stallings is down low for a ball. It's 1-0 to open. Well, the first inning had always been pretty productive for Bowie. That's where they've done a lot of their work. It's the first and the seventh innings. Those have been their best two this year. 1-0 pitch. Called a strike. On the upper outside corner, it's 1-1. And Bowie's been great at the start of innings, too. They lead the Eastern League in all 3 main slash lines from the first batter of an inning, reaching safely. 1-1 is knuckled foul left side, a bouncer. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. But Bowie has also stranded the most runners this season. They only left 2 on base, of course. But they had the bases loaded with no one out in the first. In essence, they basically left on 3 before running into that double play. 1-2 pitch. Popped him up, left field. Kauser initially stepping in on it, but now stops abruptly and makes the catch after a couple of back steps. 1 up, 1 down as Garrett Stallings gets started. Rest of the defense for Bowie, from left to right in the outfield, you've got Colton Kauser, Hudson Haskin, and Zach Watson. Kobe Mayo is at third base. Joey Ortiz is at shortstop. Cesar Prieto at second base, and Andrew Dashbach at first. Cody Roberts is the catcher behind the plate for Garrett Stallings on the mound. As switch hitter Brian Rocchio digs in, batting lefty. First pitch in, and Rocchio watches a curveball called for strike. It's 0-1. 265 average for Rocchio, a 787 OPS, and 88 games played. 18 doubles, a triple, 12 homers, 43 runs batted in. The 0-1 pitch, grounded right side and through a base hit. Cesar Prieto had a late jump on it, and they're trying for 2. It's picked in center by Haskin. The throw to second isn't caught. Ortiz was there for it. It was on time, but he didn't catch it. So it's a double for Rocchio, his 19th of the season, and it puts a runner in scoring position with only 1 out for Akron. The Rubber Ducks are being aggressive. You can't blame them for that. Bowie just needs to match that aggression. That's what won Akron the game last night when Bowie was 2 strikes away, or 1 strike away twice, I should say, not 2 strikes away. 1 strike away twice from winning the game. But Akron still walked off. Now here's Brian Lavastida, 250 average, 706 OPS in 17 games. First pitch, a swing and a miss on a low curveball, 0-1. 2 doubles, a triple, 2 homers for Lavastida, 8 runs batted in. Garrett Stallings, 6'2", 200-pound, 24-year-old right-hander from Chesapeake, Virginia. Traded over from the Los Angeles Angels back in 2020. As he fires the 0-1, it swung on and missed down and away a slider. 0-2. 5-8 record for Stallings, a 6.95 ERA in 19 games, 15 starts. 80 and 1/3 innings, 92 strikeouts, 18 walks. He's allowed 22 home runs, and opponents are hitting him at a 301 clip this season. Mild shift on for Lavastida as the 0-2 comes in, and it's down and away a slider. Count to a ball and 2 strikes. Your umpiring crew for today's game, Louis Krupa is the crew chief. He's over at third base. Tim Detweiler is at first base. And Gabe Alfonso calls the balls and strikes behind home plate. Scoreless game in the bottom of the first. Akron has a runner at second with 1 out. As Stallings sets, first base side of the rubber out of the stretch. 1-2 pitch. Just misses wide, and the count runs even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bowie loaded the bases before there was an out recorded in the first and couldn't score. Line out to first, and a fly out into a double play in right field. Stallings takes that lean in, now sets upright at the waist. Fires the 2-2. Bounces in, but kept in front by Cody Roberts. Rocchio danced a little bit to third base, but decided against it as Roberts pushed it a bit up the first base line, but after starting ahead 0-2, Lavastida runs the count full. Stallings on full counts has opponents hitting just .229 this season. He struck out 16, walked 9. And he's the one that's fallen behind now in this plate appearance. Here's the payoff. Swinging a piece off the mid of the catcher. The count stays full. Stallings, since that disastrous month of June that saw him finish with an 0-4 record and a 28.50 ERA. That is not an issue of misspeak right there. That was his actual ERA. Has since turned a massive corner for Bowie and put together his best numbers all season since the start of July. The 3-2 pitch. Swinging a liner, third, taken on one hop with a diving play by Kobe Mayo. He uprights, fires to first, and it's in time. That was an RBI extra base hit just waiting to happen, and Mayo instead turned it into a 5-3 putout. Rocchio is left at second base, and now with 2 outs, here's Mike Capriz. Bowie definitely shuffling their infield a little bit more now that Kobe Mayo is back, with him at third base and Cesar Prieto at second, but Mayo looked right at home on that play. Here's Mike Capriz. First pitch, left-hander, watches down and away. It's 1-0. 260 average for Parise, 848 OPS and 88 games played. 21 doubles, 4 triples, 16 homers, 56 runs batted in. He had the RBI single to win the game last night. Runner at second, now 2 away. A scoreless game in the bottom of the first. 1-0 pitch. Parise watches it hit the dirt. Count goes to 2-0. Stallings, since the start of July, has fired 30 and 1/3 innings, a mix of bullpen work and now starting work again. He's made 2 consecutive starts. This is his 3rd consecutive start since the bullpen time. 30 and 1/3 innings, a 1.78 ERA, 37 strikeouts, only 3 walks. 2-0. Grounded, foul, first base side. Just a little bit too early on the turn there for Parise as the count goes to 2 balls and a strike. Stallings has a handful of appearances against Akron this season. He tossed 5 innings of 1-hit ball against them back on April 20th. And then in relief, 6 scoreless innings with only 2 hits and 7 strikeouts. 2-1. Popped him up foul, third base side. This one curling out of play. Gets over the net and the count runs even at 2. So 1-out double still at second base. Brian Rocchio. Again, some aggressive base running from him. This outfield grass already pretty noted just over the first game plus now that it's about as heavy as the grass was in Harrisburg. When the ball gets down, it will slow down a lot. Stallings a chance for his first punch out, though. The 2-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Ball in the dirt. Roberts scoops it. Parise with a delayed takeoff to first. And Roberts with an easy toss to first base, ending the inning. 1-out double left stranded at second base. And as we go to the second here at Canal Park in Akron, we're scoreless. Bowie in Akron. You're listening to Baysox Baseball. Well, the Baysox are getting radical on Thursday, August 18th as we go back to the 80s. Get that perm done up, rip off those jeans, and toss on your jean jacket for the 80s Rewind Night.
A totally tubular night of the greatest musical decade with live music and beer specials from 5 to 6:30. So head on back to the 80s with the Bowie Baysox on Thursday, August 18th. Get your tickets at Baysox.com.
A birthday bash with the Baysox is the best time at the ballpark. Bring your friends and family out to celebrate and be the star of the show. Dance on the dugout with Louie, play games in the stadium, introduce a batter in the game, and you'll even get to have the stadium sing for you. Baysox birthday parties, an unforgettable, one-of-a-kind experience at Prince George's Stadium. Book yours by calling 301-464-4880 or at Baysox.com.
Baseball is a game of specialists. Base stealers, closers, cleanup hitters. Together, they help their team stand out from the rest. Specialists also help set Chesapeake Employers Insurance apart from other workers' compensation insurance companies. Our health services team includes orthopedic surgeons, nurse case managers, a physical therapist, and more, all to get your employee back to work, contain costs, and keep premiums down. That's teamwork. To learn more, connect with your agent or visit Chesapeake Employers at CEIWC.com.
On to the second inning here in Akron as Bowie hopes for a little bit more luck than they had in the first. The Baysox loaded the bases with no one out in the first inning, but couldn't bring anyone home to score. A line out and then a fly out into a double play ended the opportunity as Gavin Williams fired 18 pitches around that 5-batter span. He'll face 6, 7, and 8 in the Bowie lineup now, starting with Greg Cullen. Matt Sabatis with you on a very nice warm day here in Akron. Not too hot, not humid at all. As we're dipping into the tailing days of summer now, midway through August. Cullen hitting .242 this season with an .831 OPS in 33 games. 5 doubles, no triples, 5 homers, 15 runs batted in. First pitch from Williams is fouled off the other way. Sawed him off a little bit on the inside edge with a fastball, and it's 0-1 to start. Cullen only 3 for 8 in his games against Akron this season. He didn't play yesterday, but had a 3-run home run in the Sunday win over Harrisburg, the 0-1. Lifted into center field, a base hit. Line drive to straightaway center, and Cullen now has hits in back-to-back games following his big outburst on Sunday. Second consecutive inning that the Baysox have led off the inning with a base hit. Or with a base runner, I should say. Colton Kaiser walked to start the game, but he was on base. Bowie led off plenty of innings yesterday with base runners, but they only scored 2 of them. Joey Ortiz drove in a run in the 3rd inning after Toby Welk led off with a walk, and then he did it again in the 7th inning when Colton Kaiser led off with a double. Here's Cody Roberts, first pitch, and the catcher sprays it foul. Late swing on a breaking ball inside, 0-1 to start. .257 average for Roberts this season, a .745 OPS in 54 games played. 11 doubles, no triples, 6 home runs, 31 runs batted in. Williams, such a tall right-hander. The 0-1. Fouled off again right side. It's 0-2. Former first-round draft pick by the Guardians. Williams, a 6'6", 255-pound right-hander, 23 years of age from Fayetteville, North Carolina. He went to East Carolina University. Teammates with Connor Norby with the Pirates. And as the 0-2 comes home, and Roberts watches up and away, here's a back pick to first, but not really a pin missile from Brian Lavastida, just kind of a looping toss as Cullen was able to scamper back in and slide in safely. Throw came high as well. Very, very easy. Runs the count to a ball and 2 strikes on Roberts. Williams this season with Akron has gone 1-3, but sports a 1.98 ERA in 9 games all starts. 1-2 pitches, swung on and missed for strike 3. 98-mile-an-hour fastball high for Williams. Roberts has had some high strikeout numbers against Akron specifically this season, and it looks like that's going to continue. Or maybe that's the last one for quite a while. You never know baseball. But the first out here in the second inning, and now Andrew Dashbach. Activated off of the injured list yesterday. Dashbach hitting .184 this season, a .653 OPS in 77 games played. First pitch. Yeah, that got him. Curveball, too far inside. Dashbach did try to duck from it. He thought it was headed more toward his head, but it got his tricep. Just a little nick.
only 77 miles an hour, so no one's really going to get too up in arms about a pitch like that. But it does push Greg Cullen to second base as Dashbach reaches on the first pitch he sees back from the injured list. He has not been the kind of magnet that Hudson Haskin has this season, but Dashbach has been plunked a few times. That was the 10th. Meanwhile, Haskin has 17 hit by pitches this year. Here's the number 9 batter, Zach Watson. First pitch, swing and a miss. High fastball at 96. It's 0-1. 181 average for Watson this season. 557 OPS in 71 games played. 7 doubles, 2 triples, 7 homers, 20 runs batted in. As Bowie has a runner in scoring position again with only 1 out. Back-to-back innings in that. As Cullen dances off second. 0-1 pitch. Watson swings and misses again. Fastball outside, that time at 97, 0-2. Williams has only 36 1/3 innings under his Double-A belt. Got promoted from High A toward the end of the first half. 42 strikeouts in that time. 17 walks. He's allowed 4 home runs, and opponents are hitting him at 157. 0-2 pitch to Watson. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So 3 straight pitches, 3 straight fastballs, 3 straight swings and misses. Watson is down on strikes. Second strikeout for Gavin Williams, and now back to the top of the lineup with Colton Cowser. Cowser walked in a 3-1 offering back in the first inning. Here in the second inning, he bats with a runner in scoring position, a big opportunity. Cowser, just about every time I pick out a number that you could assume is cherry-picked to say how good Colton Cowser is, I'm surprised each time I find one because they're just always a smidge better. First pitch is a breaking ball, called a strike in the lower inside corner. It's 0-1 because Colton Cowser is hitting .421 this season with runners in scoring position. He strikes out less than 10% of the time and walks nearly 20% of the time. A 14.02 OPS. First and second, 2 away, and a scoreless top of the second. 0-1. Cowser watches high fastball, and the count runs even at a ball and a strike. Gavin Williams was the 23rd overall selection in the 2021 draft. Colton Cowser was the 5th overall selection in that same draft, that same round. The 1-1. Cowser watches a called strike in the lower inside corner. It's 1-2. Williams had one of his best starts of the season against Bowie. At Prince George's Stadium, he tossed 5 innings of 1 hit ball in a winning effort. Walked 3 batters and struck out 8. 1-2. Cowser lifts it foul up the third base line out of play, and the count remains. Fastball at 96 in the upper outside corner. The inning started with a single up the gut by Greg Cullen. Andrew Dashbach hit by a pitch with a couple of strikeouts mixed in. As Bowie tries to break through first. Akron had a 2-0 lead after the first inning last night. Another 1-2. Cowser gets brushed off inside. That slider nearly got him as the count runs even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. He had to tuck those elbows in and kick that back foot out behind him. Make sure he didn't get clipped. Joey Ortiz on deck. If Cowser reaches, maybe loads the bases. Ortiz is 3 for 6 this season with the bases loaded. 2-2 pitch. Cowser checks his swing on a breaking ball outside. Williams asked for an appeal, but Cowser didn't go around, and that's really the right call. At best, he got his bat only a quarter of the way around. But it runs the count full, so now runners at first and second will get a jump. Cowser may be an opportunity to draw his second walk in as many innings. Williams sets. There go the runners. The 3-2 is grounded foul, first base side, as the count holds. Again, these sorts of scenarios almost benefit the defense a little because the fielders don't have to hold the runners on as thoroughly anymore. First base can play even further away from the bag, as can second base. Set up in a normal position, leave fewer gaps. Here's another payoff pitch, and they've got Cullen picked. The throw is late.
Williams had quickly kicked and turned back to second base, but Jose Tena was not close enough to the bag. Greg Cullen had taken his jump a little bit too soon before Williams had motioned to home, but he scampered back in time and he just beat out Tena with a slide. That is some very close life for Bowie. So they stay alive now, and Cullen with a much closer look to second base. We wait for another payoff. Here it is, and Kauser fouls it off back to the screen. But it's definitely going to be a much more muted takeoff for Greg Cullen here. But with 2 outs, any ball put in play, he's sprinting the entire time. So even if it's just a single, Cullen would score the game's first run. Williams at 36 pitches so far. Another 3-2 pitch. Kauser lifts it out toward the left field line. Sprinting on it to foul ground. Escobedo up against the wall. It's out of play. Barely out of play. Just over the small angled fence that goes up to a secondary level at the main concourse. That missed it by probably about 2 feet at the most. And Kauser stays alive, and now he's just jabbing a little bit, joking with Joey Ortiz, who came out from the on-deck circle expecting to step up to plate. But it'll be another 3-2 pitch, the 10th pitch of the plate appearance already here to Kauser. First and second, 2 away in the second, a scoreless game. The 3-2. Kauser checks his swing, and the home plate umpire says he went around. Breaking ball down, Kauser couldn't pull back. And for the second straight inning, Bowie gets a runner in scoring position and strands him. Williams strikes out 3 in the frame. Bottom of the second coming up, we're scoreless. You're listening to Baysox Baseball.
Get the best deals at Prince George's Stadium with weekly promotions all season. Tuesdays are Military Appreciation Night. Purchase a box seat at the ticket office with a proof of service, and you'll only pay half price. Bring along your furry friend on Woof Wednesday, and it's the best happy hour around every Thursday from 5 to 6:30. $2 Bud and Bud Light drafts with other beer specials throughout the year, and live music to get your night started. It's always a great time at the ballpark, so get your tickets now at Baysox.com.
Sky Shooter Displays by ZY Pyrotechnics will be lighting up the sky with top-of-the-line fireworks shows following Baysox games all season long. We will give you the best bang for your buck. Sky Shooter Displays include traditional shows, true pyro musicals, custom choreographed plays, and much more. The night sky is truly limitless, so don't be shy. Give ZY a try. Find out more by calling us at 570-328-1361 or visit us online, zypyrotechnics.com.
On the Green Incorporated is your lawn care team, providing professional, organic-based lawn care programs for residential and commercial lawns. Our lawn care programs provide ballpark quality results. Each service is custom tailored with guaranteed results for even the toughest lawns. On the Green also offers outdoor pest control services. Mosquitoes, ants, ticks, and more. Safely and effectively control insects and enjoy the outdoors this summer with On the Green Incorporated. Go to onthegreeninc.com.
We're on to the bottom of the second here at Canal Park in Akron. Bowie really wishes they had a couple of runs to show for their efforts so far. They've already had 5 runners on base and not been able to bring anyone home. Loaded the bases with no one out in the first, had 2 runners on with only 1 out in the second, but we're still scoreless here into the bottom of the second. As Garrett Stallings faces 5, 6, and 7, first pitch to John Kenzie Noel misses down and away, and it's 1-0 to start. It'll be Noel, then Daniel Sheeman and Chris Roller set to bat in the Akron lineup. 207 average and a 765 OPS for Noel this season. He fouls off the next pitch back to the screen. It's 1-1. 30 games for Noel, 3 doubles, a triple, 9 home runs, 20 runs batted in. Went 1 for 4 yesterday, a 2 RBI double, or 2 RBI single and 3 strikeouts as the 1-1 is swung on and missed. The slider down and away. It's 1-2. I really do wonder the massive turnaround that Garrett Stallings has had since the end of June into the start of July to now, as the 1-2 pitch is swung on and grounded foul, third base side. Count stays the ball and 2 strikes. We don't get much in terms of what exactly might have changed for Stallings. His slider has been looking very, very good lately. His sequencing has been great. He's been using his catchers plenty. But I do wonder how a lot of it has to do with how opponents are scouting maybe that tough stretch of June. The 1-2 misses down and inside, bounces off of the catcher, and the count runs even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Because, of course, if you're scouting the outings of Stallings in June and maybe watching on MILB TV from the facilities that have a camera in center field to watch the pitches, as the 2-2 comes home and it's reach for foul, poked the other way, count stays, you'd obviously get a false impression of what Garrett Stallings is capable of if you watched that June, because that clearly just wasn't him. He just went on one bad stretch this season. The 2-2 popped him up. Right side, shallow outfield now, foul ground. Dashbach ranging, and the first baseman is there in foul territory. Noel pops out to start the inning, and now on to Daniel Schneemann. But yeah, if opponents are fully scouting what happened to Stallings in that month of June, I don't think it helps them much anymore. I understand why they would think to look at his outings in June, because obviously opposing offenses were hitting him, as the first pitch to Schneemann is fouled off behind the screen, left side, 0-1 to start. But clearly it's just not working anymore, because Stallings has been the best pitcher for Bowie since the start of July, at least in the rotation. As the 0-1 comes home, and it's down and inside a fastball, count runs even at 1 ball and a strike. 210 average for Schneemann this season, a 583 OPS in 83 games played. 5 doubles, 2 triples, 5 homers, 33 runs batted in. Next pitch, bounced up the middle. Ortiz was playing it perfectly near second. He sprints in to scoop it at the waist and rip it to first. 6-3 put out, and quickly 2 gone. Baysox are in their alternate orange uniforms this evening. The black block Bowie on the front side, black cap, orange brim. Rubber Ducks are in their all-white home uniforms, white pants, and the stylized font Rubber Ducks on the front side. It's that tire tread rubber font with the baby blue cap. As Chris Roller steps up, first pitch. Curveball in the zone for a called strike. It's 0-1. 7 batters so far for Stallings, 4 first pitch strikes. Roller hitting .207 this season, a 636 OPS in 54 games. The 0-1 is a slider, misses up and away. Count runs even at 1 ball and a strike. 10 doubles, 2 triples for Roller, 4 home runs, 21 runs batted in. As we're scoreless here in the bottom of the second inning. The 1-1, lifted foul, right side, count to 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Akron only 1 base runner so far. Brian Rocchio lifted a 1-out double to left center field. He was able to stretch it from what was probably going to be an easy single into a double. Got close. Next pitch, slider misses too far outside, and the count goes even at 2 on Roller. Meanwhile, Bowie has been getting plenty of base runners on. They just haven't brought them in yet. As Stallings shakes off a couple, finally steps back, kicks and fires the 2-2. It's swung on and missed for strike 3. A curveball down from Stallings and a beauty. His second strikeout punctuates a perfect second inning and sends us to the third. We're scoreless at Canal Park. Bowie and Akron, you're listening to Baysox Baseball.
It takes time to get rich, flavorful coffee beans from the lush mountain regions of Colombia and Brazil to Royal Farms. But less than a minute to get yourself a delicious hot cup of the finest and freshest coffee in the world. Because Royal Farms' new Swiss-made coffee machines grind those rich, flavorful coffee beans and brew them one magnificent cup at a time. It's why Royal Farms makes the freshest and best coffee in the world. Real fresh, real fast. Royal Farms.
Get your gear and memorabilia from your favorite Baysox players and future stars of the Baltimore Orioles at the Tackle Box Team Store. Jerseys, hats, autographed bats and balls, all at great prices. Located right at the main gate at Prince George's Stadium and online at BaysoxShop.com, the Tackle Box is the only place to get the best Baysox gear for you and your favorite fan. It's the Tackle Box at Prince George's Stadium and at BaysoxShop.com.
At DCA Imaging Systems, we provide a tenured team of office technology professionals ready to be your trusted advisors. From document creation, output devices, scanning and workflow, to document security and storage, we understand people print. not printers. Give DCA Imaging a call, 301-577-1021, or find out more about how we can help you. DCAimaging.com. DCA Imaging Systems, office technology made easy.
Well, the Baysox recently unveiled the Adley Rutschman Maryland flag hat that's set to be given away in just a little bit over a week, Friday, August 19th, as part of Maryland's Baytoberfest at Prince George's Stadium. First 750 fans ages 13 and up will get the hat for free when they enter the gate, so be sure to get your tickets at Baysox.com. On to the third inning here at Canal Park in Akron, a scoreless game as Joey Ortiz leads off. Gavin Williams still dealing, first pitch. And Ortiz watches breaking ball miss high. It's 1-0 to start. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 to bat with Ortiz, then Cesar Prieto and Hudson Haskin to follow. As Ortiz picked up a single in the first inning, extending his hit streak to 17 consecutive games. 1-0. Slider called for strike, a little bit on the outside edge of the zone. Count runs even and a ball and a strike. So Ortiz is already at the second longest hit streak in the Eastern League this season. He was in a three-way tie for second with his 16-game streak as the 1-1 misses high. Ortiz thought he might have had a good chance at that one, but it does run the count to 2 balls and a strike. Ortiz just quickly bounced out of the box, didn't seem too pleased that he laid off of the pitch. As Williams turns and fires the 2-1, swinging a piece foul off of the mid of the catcher and back to the screen. That was the same pitch. That's how you know Gavin Williams is paying attention. When Ortiz realized he was upset he didn't go after that same pitch, Williams realized, okay, I'll just throw it again because obviously I know it's so high he won't be able to hit it, and clearly Ortiz couldn't. So it runs the count even at 2. Here's the next. Misses wide. Lavastida tried to frame it on that slider outside, but the count runs full. Third full count of the day for Williams. The payoff. Lifted hard but foul right side. 97-mile-an-hour fastball up and away. Williams is constantly attacking the top of the zone. We'll see now if he tries to go with something low. Haven't seen much of the curveball yet this plate appearance. Pedro Castellanos has the longest hit streak in the Eastern League. 18 games across the start of June for Portland. The 3-2 pitch. Curveball, there it is, but fouled off right side. Hits off at the top of the sweet level, and the count remains. Bowie has had some great batters this season stretch out plate appearances. Colton Cowser had that 10-pitch PA in the second inning before he struck out looking. Another 3-2. Poked at into shallow center. This one should be playable for Chris Roller, but he's still sprinting, and he collides with his second baseman, and it falls in. Roller and Rocchio were both running on it, but as soon as Rocchio realized that he didn't have a clean play, he stopped moving, which, you know, when you think about it, is probably the right play, but Rocchio stopped moving right where the ball was. He didn't know that. He had no idea that it was going to land right there, and Roller ran right into him, and it fell off of their glove. That'll be an error, I imagine, on Roller. And now Cesar Prieto will step in as Bowie has the leadoff batter on base for the third consecutive inning. First pitch, Prieto watches curveball called for strike in the lower inside corner. It's 0-1. It is an error on Roller in center, so that is his first error in 31 games in center field this season. Here's the 0-1 to Prieto. Lifted out to left. Escobedo didn't see it at first, but now jogs down leisurely and makes the catch at the forehead. There's one away. Bowie has gotten the leadoff batter on base in all 3 innings today. The first 2 innings, they could not bring them home. And again, last night, they did it in 4 innings and only scored 2 of those leadoff base runners. Even just one more probably would have been the difference maker for Bowie, especially in the manner that they lost last night. The walk-off loss in which Bowie had 1 strike away while leading by 2. First pitch to Hudson Haskin misses high, and the count starts out at 1-0. Haskin lined out softly to first base his last time up, but that's when the bases were loaded. So the first baseman was playing at his usual position. Right now the first baseman is holding on Joey Ortiz. Micah Prees stands at the ready for a pickoff move. 1-0 pitch, and Haskin takes a late hack at it. A Baltimore chop, high bounce to third, and they'll go to second with it. Picked by Daniel Schneemann, and they can only get to second as Ortiz is put out. 5-4 choice as Haskin reaches, replaces Ortiz at first base. And now with 2 outs, here's Kobe Mayo. Mayo flew out to right field back in the first inning. Started a double play as Jhonkensy Noel picked up his first outfield assist of the season. Threw out Colton Cowser trying to tag from third. First pitch a curveball, called a strike. On the lower inside corner, it's 0-1. Runner at first, now 2 away. Here's the 0-1. And Mayo launches it out toward the right field corner. This one's giving Noel a bit of trouble, but it won't be any trouble as it slices out of play. Yeah, we've got some funky sunlight getting toward sunset at this ballpark. We had a completely overcast skies last night, so while there was sunlight, there wasn't really any issues crossing over from the shine into the shade. But Jhonkensy Noel pretty much has the sun in his eyes if he looks even a little bit to his right side. Rest of the infield, though, taking in plenty of shade. All of left field and most of center field is as well. But it's just right field where Noel sits. 0-2 pitch, and Mayo watches a curveball down and away. Count runs to a ball and 2 strikes. Runner at first, 2 away. We're still scoreless here in the top of the third, as Williams has been dancing around base runners all day. The 1-2 pitch. Ripped hard over to short, and off of the glove of Jose Tena. Squeaks slowly into left field, and it'll stop Hudson Haskin at second base. Julian Escobedo was able to sprint down and make sure that it didn't go anywhere further. And that'll be an error on Tena, his 11th this season. I imagine there'll be a conversation off of that one because it did look to be that Tena was trying to backhand it. And, well, to be fair, he didn't go too far down trying to field it, and it did hit off of his glove. If he had to lay out for it, then, yeah, I would have made more of a fight, but I do think that's probably an error. 11th this season for Tena, and now Bowie has another runner in scoring position with 2 outs now for Greg Cullen, who singled back in the second inning. First pitch. Cullen watches fastball miss up and away. 95 only. Count starts out at 1-0. We'd seen a couple at 99, handful at 97 and 98 from Williams, but he's been laboring. Bowie has had a runner in scoring position in all 3 innings today. Williams is at 55 pitches with only 8 outs recorded. 1-0, and Cullen fouls it off. Breaking ball in on the hands, sent back to the screen left side, 1-1. Bowie's been peppering them to the middle infield, too. Singles up the middle by Ortiz, Prieto, and Cullen. And, of course, that E6 that Mayo just hit into. 1-1 pitch. Cullen watches it bounce in. First time we've seen the curveball in a little bit from Gavin Williams as the count goes to 2 balls and a strike. But I said it, Williams has been having a little bit of trouble with shorter outings. That is one of the biggest issues that you see from pitchers making the jump from high A to double A is that batters don't swing and miss as often on their breaking stuff. Leads to them throwing more pitches and having shorter outings. That's why Williams hasn't gone 5 innings as often as he did at high A. 2-1 pitch. Misses just wide, a changeup. And the count goes to 3 balls and a strike on Cullen. Yeah, Williams finished at least 5 innings in all but 2 of his starts at the high A level. And he's only done it about half of the time since being called up to double A. The 3-1 pitch. Cullen watches up and away for ball 4. So for the second time today, the Baysox have loaded the bases as Cullen, the ever so patient batter, draws the second walk of the game. He's had a really good strikeout to walk ratio this season. I feel like that's flown under the radar, at least it has for me, as Cullen has now struck out just 21 times for Bowie, and that was his 20th walk drawn. But it's going to lead to a mound visit. Owen Dew comes out, and Cody Roberts will bat. Roberts 3 for 8 this season with the bases loaded. 2 strikeouts, a walk, 8 runs batted in. Around the rest of the Eastern League, there's already one final. It was a day game over in New Hampshire, and unfortunately for Bowie, it didn't go the way that they want. Erie Seawolves just don't want to lose. They've won their 3rd consecutive game. They've been on just about as hot of a run as Bowie, putting on 3 runs in the top of the 9th inning to jump ahead from a 3-2 deficit, earning a 5-3 win. So with this game still up in the air, Bowie's lead in the Southwest Division does shrink to a game and a half, but Bowie can maintain it at 2 games if they can break ahead, maybe pick up the win. Altoona leads Binghamton 4-0 after 3 innings. Harrisburg 1-0 over Reading after 4. Somerset demolishing Hartford 8-0 after 5. And they're scoreless in Portland, Richmond in Portland after 5 as well. Bases loaded in a scoreless game here in the top of the 3rd with 2 outs. As Roberts digs in, struck out swinging his first time up. First pitch, Roberts fouls it off. A little knuckle to the right side, and it's 0-1 to start. Inning started with Joey Ortiz reaching on an error. There have been 2 errors in this inning. Cesar Prieto flew out. Hudson Haskin replaced Ortiz in a fielder's choice. Then Kobe Mayo reached on an E6, and Greg Cullen walked. The 0-1. Roberts gets brushed off a little bit by a fastball up and in, and it's a ball and a strike now. Again, one of Bowie's grand slams came against Akron. That was back in the 20-6 clubbing in mid-April at Prince George's Stadium. Bowie has 4 this year. The 1-1 pitch. Roberts watches slider down and away, and the count goes to 2-1. Second bases loaded opportunity for Bowie today. They loaded the bases with no one out to start the game, but Hudson Haskin lined out to the first on a soft liner. Kobe Mayo flew into a double play that led to an out at the plate. The 2-1 pitch. Ripped left side base hit through the gap, and this will score at least 1. Chugging around third, here comes Mayo. The throw home is offline and gets backed up. They can't go anywhere else with it, though. A 2 RBI single for Cody Roberts, and the Baysox lead 2-0. A critical bases loaded knock for Bowie. 2 out base hits have been the story of this series, and Roberts just added another chapter. He's now got 10 runs batted in with the bases loaded this season, and Bowie doesn't waste this opportunity. Roberts stayed at first base after the throw got a little bit wild. Greg Cullen advanced to third, so now an opportunity for Andrew Dashbach with another runner at third, still 2 outs. Dashbach got hit by a pitch, the first pitch he saw back in the 2nd inning. Roberts is being held on at first base. Cullen not as much at third. First pitch in. Dashbach watches high fastball, and it's 0-1. There's a left-hander tossing in the bullpen for Akron. That looks to be Eli Lingos. As Williams sets, he's at 64 pitches. The 1-0. Dashbach watches slider miss away, and the count goes to 2-0. Bowie is laying off the breaking balls. Frustrating Williams right now. He has only walked the 2 batters, but of course Bowie has rocketed up that pitches per plate appearance. Made things difficult. The 2-0. Dashbach watches a curveball called for strike inside. That one just barely found its way back in on the 2-plane movement. But it's 66 pitches now for Williams against just 16 batters faced. That's an average of over 4 pitches per plate appearance. You don't want that rate. That's too high. The 2-1. And Dashbach knuckles it foul right side. Count runs even at 2. But of course, with Andrew Dashbach, you're probably going to see it go much, much higher. Dashbach is the most notorious batter on the team for taking plate appearances as long as he possibly can. An average of 4.3 pitches per plate appearance. First and third, 2 away in the top of the third. Bowie now ahead 2-0. The 2-2 to Dashbach. Swing and a miss for strike 3. High fastball, only at 95 from Williams, but it does end the inning and limits the damage. But Bowie gets them across, doesn't miss out on their second chance with the bases loaded. Cody Roberts, a 2 RBI single, and we're on to the bottom of the third. Bowie leads 2-0. You're listening to Baysox Baseball.
Get the best deals at Prince George's Stadium with weekly promotions all season. Tuesdays are Military Appreciation Night. Purchase a box seat at the ticket office with a proof of service, and you'll only pay half price. Bring along your furry friend on Woof Wednesday, and it's the best happy hour around every Thursday from 5 to 6:30. $2 Bud and Bud Light drafts with other beer specials throughout the year, and live music to get your night started. It's always a great time at the ballpark, so get your tickets now at Baysox.com.
Most people don't know what a steam fitter is. More importantly, what we do and how much it impacts you. Just take a moment to think about what your world would look like if you didn't have the ability to generate electricity, to have heating or air conditioning, microchip production, internet service, web-based storage, cellular service, and frozen or refrigerated produce. Could you imagine? And these are just some of the things that we impact. Please visit steamfitters-602.org and let's talk about how we can bring value to you.
Well, as the baseball season winds down, that means we've got to get ready for football. Friday, September 9th, it's the Baysox football kickoff night at Prince George's Stadium. Getting ready for the college season and the pro season, the Baysox will be giving away a special Adley Rutschman bobblehead. Remember, Adley played college football before he joined the Orioles. It's a free bobblehead for the first 750 fans ages 13 and up. So be sure to join the Baysox football kickoff night on Friday, September 9th. Get your tickets at Baysox.com.
Bottom of the third here in Akron, and Garrett Stallings now working with the lead. 2 out, 2 RBI single by Cody Roberts in the top of the frame, and now Stallings gets the face-off against 8, 9, and 1 in the Akron lineup. Matt Sabatas with you from Canal Park in Akron, so glad you're sticking with us. As Stallings quickly winds and deals to Reynel Delgado. First pitch, the switch hitter batting lefty misses low, and it's 1-0 to start. It's only a 200 average for Delgado this season, a 601 OPS in 32 games played. As Stallings quickly deals the next offering, it's a 1-0 outside, makes it 2-0. 2 doubles and a triple for Delgado, 2 home runs, 9 runs batted in. As the next pitch misses down and away, it's 3 balls and no strikes. It's only the second 3-ball count for Garrett Stallings today. He worked Lavastida full back in the first inning before inducing a ground out, the 3-0. Called a strike in the lower outside corner just as Delgado was backing out of the box to take a free base. He didn't toss the bat, didn't adjust his equipment at all, but that really did seem like a bit of a late ring-up. Runs the count to 3-1. Mild shift on, and Delgado calls for time. He had already stepped out of the box thinking he was going to first, so it already threw off Stallings' timing just a little bit. I guess he wanted to do it one more time. Stallings shakes off a pair and now winds for the next. 3-1 is called a strike. Same pitch in the lower outside corner. I guess Roberts trying to mix it up. Stallings just wanted to get that second strike and get back into it. Doubt he tries for it 3 times in a row, however. But now he's quickly dealing the 3-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. He didn't try for it again. Went with a high fastball instead. That's the 5th strikeout for Stallings. He's retired, or 3rd strikeout for Stallings, rather. He's retired 6 consecutive batters. And now here's the number 9 batter, Julian Escobedo. Another lefty hitting .221 this season, 633 OPS, and the first pitch misses up and away. 1-0 to start. 87 games for Escobedo, 12 doubles, a triple, 4 homers, 28 runs batted in. Here's the 1-0. Check swing, curveball away. They'll appeal, he didn't go. That was just more of a flick of the wrist, so the barrel didn't really go anywhere. Count to 2 balls and no strikes. Bases empty, 1 out. Bowie ahead 2-0 in the bottom of the third as the 2-0 pitch is a curveball. That one hits the upper outside corner for a called strike. It's 2-1. Escobedo has not batted against Stallings yet this season. As a matter of fact, So far this season, the only batter for Akron that has a base hit against him is Brian Rocchio. His next pitch is fouled off hard right side. Counts at 2-2. Rocchio had the double back in the first inning. I should say batters on the active Akron roster. But Rocchio is 2 for 5 against Stallings in his career. Everyone else in this lineup is hitless against him. And time briefly called. Cody Roberts asking for it. And we wait on the 2-2. Still some sun shining in right field. Rest of the field taking in a good portion of the shade as the 2-2 comes in. And it's swung on and lifted foul. Curveball outside as the count remains. Again, a bit of a sparse day in terms of the actual seating bowl here at Canal Park in Akron, but they do pretty well when it comes to their amenities. 2-2 pitch, fouled off, in on the hands, and just back to the top of the screen. Change up there from Stallings, holds the count the same at 2-2. They've got a very tall net here at Canal Park, but the broadcast location is just a little bit taller, so you've got to be at the ready. Another 2-2. Grounded hard over to second, running in at first, Prieto, but he waits back for 2 quick bounces. Gloves it and fires to first in time, a 4-3 putout. First time that Cesar Prieto has really had to put in work today. So once through the lineup, Stallings has faced one over the minimum. Gave up the double to Brian Rocchio in the first inning and has retired everyone else. Here's the leadoff batter, Jose Tena. Tena flew out to left field back in the first inning. First pitch in. Curveball in the zone for a called strike. It's 0-1. Looks to be that Gavin Williams is going to be done, as Akron has another pitcher warming in their bullpen, as the next offering is the same curveball, but it misses low. Count runs even at a ball and a strike on Tena. Is that still Eli Lingos is the question. 1-1 pitch. Called a strike. Fastball nicked the outside edge. We've been seeing a lot of wide calls to left-handers in today's game. That is still Lingos warming up for Akron, so he'll take the fourth. It's only a 3-inning day for Gavin Williams. The 1-2 pitch. Swinging a grounder to second. Hard bouncer, but Cesar Prieto gobbles it up. Checks to make sure that it's actually in his glove before firing to first and ending the inning. Back-to-back perfect frames for Garrett Stallings. He's retired 8 in a row. As we move to the fourth, Bowie leads 2-0. You're listening to Baysox Baseball.
On the Green Incorporated is your lawn care team, providing professional, organic-based lawn care programs for residential and commercial lawns. Our lawn care programs provide ballpark quality results. Each service is custom-tailored with guaranteed results for even the toughest lawns. On the Green also offers outdoor pest control services. Mosquitoes, ants, ticks, and more. Safely and effectively control insects and enjoy the outdoors this summer with On the Green Incorporated. Go to onthegreeninc.com.
Baseball is a game of specialists. Base stealers, closers, cleanup hitters. Together, they help their team stand out from the rest. Specialists also help set Chesapeake Employers Insurance apart from other workers' compensation insurance companies. Our health services team includes orthopedic surgeons, nurse case managers, a physical therapist, and more, all to get your employee back to work, contain costs, and keep premiums down. That's teamwork. To learn more, connect with your agent or visit Chesapeake Employers at CEIWC.com.
The best way to take in a Baysox game is with a group outing at Prince George's Stadium. Everything from entertaining clients to birthday parties and even fundraising opportunities for your team, the Baysox offer plenty of options for your group at unbeatable rates with plenty of options on suites, seats, and decks around the ballpark. Your group can eat their fill and have an unforgettable time. Find out more and schedule your group outing by calling 301-464-4880 or going to Baysox.com.
We move on to the fourth inning here at Canal Park in Akron. As Bowie maintains a 2-0 lead, the Rubber Ducks are already making a pitching change. As starting pitcher Gavin Williams labored through 3 innings, did not allow an earned run, but Bowie still has the lead. 3 innings for Williams, 4 hits, 2 runs, neither were earned. He struck out 4 and walked 2 on 68 pitches. as left-hander Eli Lingos takes over to face 9-1-2 in the Bowie lineup, starting with Zach Watson. First pitch misses just high, a changeup, and it's 1-0 to start. Lingos, a 5'11", 200-pound, 26-year-old lefty from Phoenix, Arizona, 26th-round draft selection in 2018 from Arizona State. Fires the 1-0, and it's belted foul, third base side. This one hanging up, and the shortstop, Tena, will run on it, but watch it get out of play. Actually gets up a couple of high levels as the count runs even at 1-1. That one was just super high. Runs the count even. Lingos on the season for Akron has made 12 appearances, gone 1-1 with a 3.18 ERA, 17 innings, 14 strikeouts, 5 walks. He's allowed 3 home runs. Corner infielders playing in on Watson here as the 1-1 pitch misses up and away. Count runs to 2 balls and 1 strike. But Williams in line for a loss now as the lefty Lingos will try and guide what he can, at least for a couple of innings. 2-1 pitch. Misses high, 3 balls and a strike on Watson. Because Lingos doesn't necessarily go too far in a lot of his outings. Over his last month, he's only maxed out at 2 innings. That'll get Akron just into the 5th. 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Curveball down and away, and the count runs full on Watson here, who struck out swinging on 3 fastballs back in the 2nd inning. Bowie ahead 2-0. Trying to get back onto a winning streak after losing their 8-game streak last night, the 3-2. And Watson swings and misses on a curveball. So he worked ahead 3-1, but still strikes out. That's the way Lingos starts his relief appearance. 5th overall strikeout for Akron pitching. And now back to the top of the lineup for Colton Cowser. Well, I think that's part of the reason why Williams departed so soon. They didn't want him facing the lineup a 3rd time through this fast. To have it happen in just the 4th inning, Bowie really could have hammered him. Cowser 0 for 1, first pitch. Curveball called a strike on the top half of the zone. It's 0-1. Because Cowser walked in the 1st inning and then took a 3-2 battle to 10 pitches before striking out swinging in the 2nd. 0-1 pitch. Misses high. Fastball from Lingos runs the count even at a ball and a strike. Lingos is coming off of a winning effort in relief against Altoona back in the doubleheader. He tossed 2 scoreless innings. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss, too far ahead of a curveball, and it's a ball and 2 strikes on Cowser. Third base playing a little bit on the line. Right side of the infield shifted a tad. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball off of the plate in front of home, barehanded by the catcher, thrown to first, and it's just in time. A swinging bunt that barely got 10 feet away from the plate. Cowser made it close, but he was still way too far ahead of the breaking ball. Lingos is really making it work for him right now, and the Baysox are trying to play catch-up early. Again, I don't necessarily imagine that they expected to face a reliever this fast. So a 2-3 putout. It's the first time all game that the Baysox have started out with 2 quick outs, as the first pitch to Ortiz is called a strike on a breaking ball inside edge. It's 0-1. First time all game that Bowie didn't actually get the leadoff batter on base, too. 0-1, and Ortiz belted out to deep center. Roller is running back looking for the wall, but he looks to have it. And in front of the warning track, makes the catch. You've got that deep nook out in left center field that you've really got to run back as fast as you can on just about anything hit in that direction, so it throws you off a little bit. 1-2-3 inning out of the bullpen for Roller, the first time the Baysox haven't gotten a base runner on. As we go to the bottom of the 4th, Bowie still leads 2-0. You're listening to Baysox Baseball.
At DCA Imaging Systems, we provide a tenured team of office technology professionals ready to be your trusted advisors. From document creation, output devices, scanning and workflow, to document security and storage, we understand people print, not printers. Give DCA Imaging a call, 301-577-1021, or find out more about how we can help you. DCAimaging.com. DCA Imaging Systems, office technology made easy.
The Baysox are calling all deadheads to make their way out to Prince George's Stadium on Friday, August 26th for Grateful Dead Night. With special themes and music all night throughout the game, it'll culminate in a Grateful Dead-themed fireworks show to cap the evening. Fans who purchase a special package ticket will receive a limited edition Baysox Grateful Dead t-shirt collaboration and a ticket to the game, so be sure to get there. Friday, August 26th, it's Grateful Dead night at the ballpark. Find out more at Baysox.com.
Sky Shooter Displays by ZY Pyrotechnics will be lighting up the sky with top-of-the-line fireworks shows following Baysox games all season long. We will give you the best bang for your buck. Sky Shooter Displays include traditional shows, true pyro musicals, custom choreographed plays, and much more. The night sky is truly limitless, so don't be shy. Give ZY a try. Find out more by calling us at 570-328-1361 or visit us online, zypyrotechnics.com.
Fans Cares around the corner at Patient First. Urgent care that's open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day of the year. No appointment needed. Learn more at patientfirst.com. Bottom of the fourth inning as Bowie leads 2-0. First pitch to Brian Rocchio is grounded to first, and a diving grab by Andrew Dashbach. He uprights and underhands to Garrett Stallings. Stallings wins the foot race to first, and a 3-1 putout to start things out here in the fourth. Rocchio with a decent rip shot up the right side, but Dashbach with a quick read on it in response, and a 3-1 putout gets us started. Stallings has retired the last 9 batters. He faces Brian Lavastida now. First pitch. Slider misses down and away. 1-0 to start. Only 1 hit for Akron today. Rocchio's double with 1 out in the first inning. 1-0. Fastball at the knees for a called strike. It's 1-1. Lavastida's been having a great month. 417 here in August. Next pitch, called a strike on a changeup outside, and it's a ball and 2 strikes now. Mild shift on for the right-hander as the 1-2 pitch misses down and away a fastball. Count runs even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stallings up to 55 pitches now. He's not used more than 18 in any individual inning. As the 2-2 comes home. Checked on, down and in, an appeal. He didn't go. Pitch looked close. I don't think Lavastida was too close to even going around. He got back quickly. But it runs the count full. Only the 3rd full count for Stallings today. Next pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That's his 2nd full count strikeout and his 4th overall today. 10 in a row retired by Garrett Stallings. And now here's Mike Capriz. Well, I said it, if opponents have been watching what Stallings did in June, or even just looking at his season numbers, you'd get a different impression as the first pitch to Prees is belted out to center field, but right at Hudson Haskin. He ranges back softly to his right and makes the catch. Fastest inning of the night for Garrett Stallings. He retires the side on just 8 pitches. We can talk about him more in the 5th because he's definitely going to pitch the 5th because Bowie leads 2-0. You're listening to Baysox Baseball.
Hey, coffee lovers. Know where you'll find the world's freshest cup of coffee? Right here at Royal Farms. Because with our new brewing system, it takes less than a minute to go from selecting the kind of coffee you want to this. The freshest, most flavorful cup of coffee you can buy is at Royal Farms. So try one. It'll be love at first sip. Because it's the freshest coffee in the world. Real fresh, real fast, Royal Farms.
Hey kids, the Baysox Futures Club is the best way to be a fan of the Baysox, and it's completely free for kids ages 3 through 12. Futures Club members get access to special members-only events, discount ticket offers, and free gifts for just signing up. Parents, head over to Baysox.com to sign up your kids, so don't miss out on all the promotions and giveaways at Prince George's Stadium this season and next. The Baysox Futures Club. Sign up now at Baysox.com.
If you're working in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area as a pipe fitter, pipe welder, or HVAC service technician, and you're interested in a better life, a better means to provide for yourself and your family, a way to make sure that you're earning the highest wages and the best benefits in our industry, Visit our website at steamfitters-602.org. That's steamfitters-602.org. And let's talk about what we can do to help change your life.
On to the fifth inning here in Akron. A pleasant welcome to you from Canal Park here in Ohio. Matt Sabatis with you from Akron, and oh boy, thank you so much for stopping by this evening. It's so nice that you're here. As Bowie leads 2-0 entering the fifth inning, it'll be 3, 4, and 5 in the Baysox lineup set to bat, with Cesar Prieto leading it off. First pitch in from Eli Lingos is swung on and missed down, a curveball. It's 0-1 to open. Left-hander Lingos taking on his second inning of relief work, set down the side in order in the fourth. It was the first time all day that the Baysox hadn't gotten the first batter of the inning on base, let alone a batter at all. As the next pitch misses up and away to Prieto, it's 1-1. Cesar 1 for 2. Singled in the first inning, flew out to left field in the third. Shift on for the left-hander as Lingos delivers the next, and the 1-1 is swung on and missed. Curveball down, and it's 1-2. Lingos has a very deceptive, not necessarily deceptive, but intentionally hidden delivery. He puts a lot of his back to the plate as the next pitch is swung on and missed down for strike 3. Prieto swang at 2 different curveballs on that one. Lingos picks up his second strikeout, 6th overall for Akron pitching. And Lingos has retired all 4 batters faced. But Lingos, after he comes set out of the stretch, he'll face right center field. You can clearly see the number and name on the back of his jersey from home plate. And he'll twist his entire body around his knee and ankle as the first pitch to Hudson Haskin sails to the backstop. I feel like that is probably an issue that comes from that massively complicated delivery that involves so much of his body weight pivoting on just the one ankle. 1-0. Curveball misses down to Haskin, and the count goes to 2-0. Haskin reached on a fielder's choice in the third when he grounded to third, the 2-0. Misses up and away, 3 balls and no strikes, and then he came home to score on Cody Roberts' 2 RBI single back in the third inning. Never gave you the final line on Gavin Williams. 3 innings, 4 hits. No, I did. 2 runs. Neither of them were earned because of 2 errors in that inning. I did. As the 3-0 is called a strike in the top half. Haskin was starting up the line and had tossed the bat. Well, that'll draw the jeers. That'll draw the laughs. And Haskin just asking for a little bit of confirmation on how that pitch compared to a previous pitch in the plate appearance that was called for ball. He seems to understand as it runs the count to 3-1. Now Lingos tries to get his momentum back. The pitch home. Called a strike on the outside edge. Runs it full. Shift on for the right-hander, and Haskin will try to set his timing now by stepping out of the box and adjusting the gloves. Steps back in with that right foot first. Left foot on the balls of his toes as the 3-2 is grounded foul. Third base side, hits off of the tarp. And the count stays full. So Haskin digs back in. Again, I imagine this is the only other inning that Lingos tosses as he shakes off a couple of pitches. But now kicks and fires the 3-2. Haskin pops it up on the infield. Left side, Lingos is the one running down. He's called off by the third baseman in foul territory. Schneeman is the one to make the catch. Lingos was the one there the entire time. And they just played the Sports Center theme for a catch on a pop-up. Okay. Well, the Rubber Ducks definitely like to play things to the most humorous of levels in minor league baseball. They want to brand themselves that way. Of course, that's why one of their alternate identities is a literal rubber duck instead of the stylized tire rubber that Akron is, of course, known for. But boy, oh boy, that one was a bit of a head-scratcher. It was definitely not a top 10 kind of play. Whatever. First pitch to Kobe Mayo misses high, and it's 1-0 to start. Mayo reached on an error, a well-struck ball to the shortstop back in the third inning. Here's the next. Curveball misses down and away, and it's 2-0. Lingos has plenty of starting experience, so it is a bit interesting how he's been converted to such a short form reliever. The 2-0 pitch, called a strike in the lower inside corner. It's 2-1. He was the opening night starter for Akron back in 2021 and made 6 starts for the Ducks. As the next pitch is fouled off, count stays even at 2. You can maybe understand a little bit why he has shifted into some of these shorter outings, though. There was a moment last season that was tough for Lingos and just tough for all. The 2-2 grounded back to Lingos and speared off of one hop. He gloves and fires a rainbow toss to first base, gets it there on a note, and a 1-3 putout ends the inning. 6 up, 6 down for Lingos in relief. We can tell you his story a little bit later, but that might be the last inning he throws. Halfway home here in Akron as Bowie leads 2-0. You're listening to Baysox Baseball.
Celebrate your Chesapeake pride on Friday, August 19th as the Baysox host Maryland's Baytoberfest at Prince George's Stadium. All things Maryland presented by Royal Farms with an upcoming special Baytoberfest beer stein and ticket package available. And with a big chance to celebrate all things Maryland, it wouldn't be complete without your very own Maryland flag designed Baysox hat with Adley Rutschman and his number 35 patched on the side. It's the Maryland Baytoberfest and the Adley Rutschman hat giveaway Friday, August 19th at Prince George's Stadium. So get your tickets at baysox.com.
Fielder's Choice Flex Packs with the Bowie Baysox. The best value to see the best games at Prince George's Stadium. You could save up to 30% on your selected seat from day one and enjoy a number of exclusive member benefits, including flexible exchange options, discounts on suite rentals, special access to the Diamond View restaurant, and a free members collectible at your first home game of the year. Get your pack now by calling 301-464-4865 or heading online to baysox.com.
Baseball is a game of specialists. Base stealers, closers, cleanup hitters. Together, they help their team stand out from the rest. Specialists also help set Chesapeake Employers Insurance apart from other workers' compensation insurance companies. Our health services team includes orthopedic surgeons, nurse case managers, a physical therapist, and more, all to get your employee back to work, contain costs, and keep premiums down. That's teamwork. To learn more, connect with your agent or visit Chesapeake Employers at CEIWC.com.
Bottom of the 5th in Akron, Bowie still leading 2-0. A lot of that thanks in part to Garrett Stallings. He's retired 11 consecutive batters, and he faces John Kenzie Noel here to start. First pitch is swung on and missed down, a curveball, 0-1. 5, 6, and 7 in the Akron lineup with Noel, then Daniel Schneemann, and Chris Roller set to bat. It's a hard shift is put on for the right-handed hitter, the 0-1. Noel hits it into the shift, backhanded by Ortiz, deep in the hole. He charges and fires a missile to first. On the nose, and that's why the shift is there. 6-3 put out. It was a little bit under the glove of Kobe Mayo, but Mayo probably wouldn't have been the best to make that play anyway because it was directly to Ortiz. Mayo did have to range a little bit. But for Stallings, that's 4 outs on his last 10 pitches. Now Daniel Schneemann, the left-hander. First pitch, he squares, but the pitch misses down and inside. Schneemann pulled back in time, and the count starts out at 1-0. Schneemann also grounded out to shortstop his last time up, but that was more up the middle, and that's where Ortiz is playing him again. 1-0 pitch, and breaking ball misses down and inside. That one nearly clipped the left-hander. Count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Stallings this season has had a much tougher time with lefties, while the power numbers have been pretty much the same. 11 home runs split down the middle. The 2-0 pitch is swung on and missed down. It's 2-1. Stallings has lefties hitting .366, and his strikeout to walk ratio is about twice as good against right-handers than it is against lefties. 2-1. Grounded over the right side. Tough play, and it's through. Cesar Prieto was too hard on the shift and thinking about second Schneemann, but it'll stop at first. That ends the string of 12 consecutive batters retired by Garrett Stallings as Schneemann collects the hit. 3 consecutive games now for him. And it's good on the Bowie outfielders to make sure that they were able to pounce on some of those balls slow rolling through the gap. Make sure they didn't give up a double like they did to Brian Rocchio in the first inning. So now here's Chris Roller. struck out swinging in the second inning. First pitch. Breaking ball down and away, back pick to first is not on target. Andrew Dashbach was probably about 3 or 4 feet away from the bag when he received the ball. Count starts out at 1-0. Timing-wise, I can't even tell you if it would have been there. Oh, they say it's 0-1. Home plate umpire must have rung that up while the back pick was going. I thought it was a 1-0 count. So the 0-1 pitch is swung on and missed down and away. Run the count to 0-2. Yeah, that definitely caught me off guard. I thought it was a pretty clear ball down and away before Roberts attempted the back pick, but I mean, Stallings isn't going to get upset about a free strike there. Runner at first, one away, the 0-2 pitch. Half swing and a foul. There's no way. There's got to be something wrong with that pitch speed readout for Akron, because they just said that fastball from Stallings up and in was 100 miles an hour. I don't think Stallings has ever thrown 100 miles an hour this season. We'll have to ask, because that's incredible. Pickoff throw to first, a little bit late. We wait on the 0-2 offering to Chris Roller. Again, Bowie ahead 2-0. See if the runner takes. Stays put, the 0-2. Curveball down and away. Count runs to a ball and 2 strikes. Another pickoff throw, still just a tad bit late. We'll wait on the next 1-2 offering. Runner goes, pitches down and away for a ball. Throw to second is just a little low. It bounced in by Cody Roberts. Cesar Prieto had to hesitate to make sure the ball didn't get by him, and Schneemann picks up the steal. As the count runs even at 2, Schneemann is now in scoring position. Roller wasn't much of a stolen or a double play threat anyway, so Bowie wasn't too concerned about that. Stallings just wants the punch out. 2-2 is down and away, however. And the count runs full after Stallings started ahead, 0-2. As Stallings sets out of the stretch. The 3-2 pitch. Swinging a line drive, caught by Kobe Mayo. Didn't have to leap too far. Mayo, of course, one of the tallest on the team, but he was able to spear that out of the air with his 6'5" frame. A hot shot to the hot corner. Schneemann was quick to return to second base. There wasn't really anyone close to the bag to double him up anyway. But a great play by Mayo. Would have been an RBI if it got by him. Instead, it's the second out. And now here's Reynel Delgado, first pitch. Breaking ball down. And it's 1-0 to start. Delgado struck out swinging on a full count offering back in the third. As Akron has runner in scoring position with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Bowie ahead 2-0. 1-0. Breaking ball down and away, and it's 2-0. This might be the last inning that Stallings throws, as some of these pitches are starting to get away from him just a little bit, and Bowie usually caps their starters at 5 innings anyway. Stallings has been one of the few guys, though, lately to extend into the 6th inning. His last 2 starts have gone 5 2/3. But he is at 73 pitches now, and he's thrown a handful of first pitch balls to the last few batters he's faced. 3 of the last 6, to be precise. And Bowie has a couple of guys loosening in the bullpen. They're not actually throwing, just kind of stretching out the arms and legs. And Jensen Elliott is just kind of flailing his arms, getting loose. Looks to be Brett Daniels is getting warm in the Akron bullpen, however. 2-0 pitch, grounded right side. Prieto sprinting, diving, gloves it deep in the hole, but he can't make the transfer. It gets away from his hand, and the runner sprints home. That's got to be at least a single and an error. They're ruling that an RBI. I don't think that's the right call. But Delgado gets the base hit, because if Prieto didn't fumble the ball the way he did, then there's absolutely no way Schneemann even tries to go home. But it'll be a hit and makes the game 2-1. So now tying run is on base. For Julian Escobedo, first pitch is called a strike, down and away. It's 0-1. And I said it, Akron is being aggressive. Stolen bases have helped their cause over the course of this series. As the 0-1 pitch is ripped foul, first base side. Hard grounder, it's 0-2. If it weren't for the stolen base, that run would not have scored. Stolen base last night led to a run after Brian Rocchio stole second base in the 5th inning. He wouldn't have scored without that steal. 0-2 count on Escobedo, who grounded out to second in the 3rd. It's 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed high for strike 3. So the inning is over. Stalling strikes out his 5th batter, but Akron is on the board. As we go to the 6th, Bowie still leads 2-1. You're listening to Baysox Baseball.
Pest Now is proud to partner with the Bowie Baysox and provide their pest control services. For all your residential and commercial pest control needs, call Pest Now. For general pest control, termite control, mosquito control, and all other pest control services, call Pest Now. You can reach us at 301-231-8300 or visit us online at www.pestnow.com.
It's not baseball season without fireworks, and you can always count on the biggest and best at Prince George's Stadium. There's no better way to cap off a fun evening at the ballpark than a spectacular fireworks show. And the Baysox have got you covered this season with 16 different shows to choose from. So get your tickets now at Baysox.com. Still 3 more fireworks shows in the month of July on Saturday the 16th, Friday the 29th, and Saturday the 30th. Hope to see you there.
Sky Shooter Displays by ZY Pyrotechnics will be lighting up the sky with top-of-the-line fireworks shows following Baysox games all season long. We will give you the best bang for your buck. Sky Shooter Displays include traditional shows, true pyro musicals, custom choreographed plays, and much more. The night sky is truly limitless, so don't be shy. Give ZY a try. Find out more by calling us at 570-328-1361 or visit us online, zypyrotechnics.com.
On to the 6th inning here in Akron as Bowie leads 2-1. Baysox will try to get some insurance after Akron cut into the 2-run lead with an RBI single in the 5th inning. And the Rubber Ducks make a pitching change. As Eli Lingos is done, reliever tossed 2 perfect innings with 2 strikeouts. Right-hander Kyle Marmon will take over for Akron, facing the bottom half of the Bowie lineup, starting with Greg Cullen. Cody Roberts and Andrew Dashbach will follow. First pitch, called a strike, a breaking ball in the upper outside corner to Cullen. It's 0-1. 1-for-1 day for Cullen, singled at the middle in the 2nd inning, walked in the 3rd. He's been in scoring position twice, but hasn't come home. 0-1, grounded up toward first, taken on 2 hops by Prees and underhanded to the pitcher covering in time. 3-1 put out, and Cullen grounds out to open the frame. Kyle Marmon, 6'3", 195-pound, 25-year-old right-hander from Boca Raton, Florida. 13th round draft selection in 2018 from Florida Atlantic. On the season for Akron, he's made 30 appearances, gone 3-1 with a 6.09 ERA. 34 innings, 40 strikeouts, 23 walks. He's allowed 6 home runs. That is the most in the bullpen for Akron right now. First pitch to Cody Roberts is swung on and missed low, a curveball. 0-1. Roberts has both of Bowie's RBI today. 2 out, 2 RBI single with the bases loaded in the 3rd inning. Bowie's loaded the bases twice. They did it with no one out in the 1st and didn't score. The 0-1. Breaking ball down and away, and it's a ball and a strike now. Marmon is coming on a pretty good run right now for Akron. He's tossed 5 1/3 consecutive scoreless innings as the 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed. Another curveball. Roberts having a tough time with the breaking stuff today as the count goes to 1-2. Marmon is actually not allowed a run since he faced off against Bowie. 5 consecutive scoreless outings for him. As the 1-2 pitch misses way outside. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Marmon came in back in a doubleheader and gave up a pair of home runs. Both of them to Colton Cowser, as a matter of fact. 2-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Another curveball. Roberts whiffed on all 3 curveballs, and that's the first strikeout for Marmon. 7th overall for Akron pitching, and the Baysox have now gone down 9 in a row since Roberts had the 2 RBI single. Looks to be that Garrett Stallings might take the 6th inning for Bowie. Don't see anyone warming up in the bullpen right now. As Andrew Dashbach steps in, first pitch to him. Misses down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. Dashbach hit by a pitch in the 2nd. Struck out swinging back in the 3rd. A little bit of wind out to left field right now as the 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed down. It's 1-1. Well, Bowie had no issue with Gavin Williams' curveball today, and that's been rated as one of the better curveballs in the Guardians organization. Good 2-plane movement, but a lot of the off-speed and breaking stuff that just comes at you one-dimensionally, Bowie's been having trouble with. The 1-1 down and away, and the count goes to 2-1. Just so many swings and misses on low off-speed stuff for Bowie batters today. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Curveball inside, and it's 2-2. As Bowie leads 2-1 here in the top of the 6th inning. Garrett Stallings will try and pitch a cleaner 6th than he did the 5th. 2-2. Breaking ball down and away, it runs full. Not to say Stallings had a bad 5th inning, it's just the only inning that he's given up a run in today. So Dashbach steps out very quickly ahead of the full count offering. Outfield, infield, both play straight up on Dashbach. 3-2, swing and a miss for strike 3. Pitch in the dirt, Lavastida doesn't have too hard of a time to fish it up and fire to first. Baysox have gone down 10 in a row. We're on to the bottom of the 6th. Bowie still holding on to a 2-1 lead. You're listening to Baysox Baseball.
Are you interested in beginning or expanding on a career in the pipe fitting, pipe welding, or HVAC service industry? Are you interested in a career path that will set you up for life without experiencing any college debt? If you are interested in these things and you live in the D.C. area, the Steamfitters UA Local 602 Apprenticeship Program is the best choice for you. For more information about our apprenticeship program and how to apply, please visit steamfitters-602.org. That's steamfitters-602.org.
A birthday bash with the Baysox is the best time at the ballpark. Bring your friends and family out to celebrate and be the star of the show. Dance on the dugout with Louie, play games in the stadium, introduce a batter in the game, and you'll even get to have the stadium sing for you. Baysox birthday parties, an unforgettable, one-of-a-kind experience at Prince George's Stadium. Book yours by calling 301-464-4880 or at baysox.com.
It takes time to get rich, flavorful coffee beans from the lush mountain regions of Colombia and Brazil to Royal Farms. But less than a minute to get yourself a delicious hot cup of the finest and freshest coffee in the world. Because Royal Farms' new Swiss-made coffee machines grind those rich, flavorful coffee beans and brew them one magnificent cup at a time. It's why Royal Farms makes the freshest and best coffee in the world. Real fresh, real fast. Royal Farms.
We're on to the bottom of the 6th inning here in Akron as Garrett Stallings comes out for another frame of work. Stallings opened with 4 scoreless, only allowed 1 base runner, but allowed a couple of base hits, a stolen base, and a run in the 5th as Bowie leads 2-1. First pitch home to Jose Tena, misses outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Top of the lineup for Akron with Tano, Rocchio, and Lavastida, the 1-0. Fouled off, might have cracked the bat in on the handle as the count runs even at a ball and a strike. And I see no chance for Tano to go back to the dugout, so I guess it didn't actually crack him. But it runs the count even at 1. Here's the next. Fastball up and away, and the count to 2 balls and a strike. Stallings at 79 pitches now, though. As the 2-1 misses up and away, 3 balls and a strike. And he was definitely running into a couple of longer plate appearances in the 5th inning. He was behind in 3 consecutive batters as the 3-1 is muscled out to center field. Haskins sprinting, closes the gap, and makes the catch at the waist before going into a slide. He really had to dig down to pull it up. I guess his body just went with him as he finally fell in. But Tana lines out to center as Haskin was playing a little bit hard on the pull side. Instead, there's 1 quick out. There's no action in the Bowie bullpen. Baysox want to stick with Stallings and see if he can finish 6 innings. First pitch to Brian Rocchio is grounded to the right side, picked on a low bounce by Cesar Prieto. Plenty of time to settle his steps and loft a toss to first base. 4-3 put out and quickly 2 away. Garrett Stallings is the only pitcher that has thrown 6 innings for the Baysox this season, and he actually did that in a relief performance for Bowie. He's done it twice, once against Somerset and once against Akron. Last time he did it against Akron back on July 15th was in a relief appearance, and he earned the win. Brian Lavastida is up. Stallings was ready to pitch, but they still didn't turn off the walk-up music here. Home plate umpire had to stop everyone. Here's the first pitch. Called a strike in the upper outside corner. It's 0-1. Lavastida 0 for 2, struck out swinging in the 4th. 0-1. Fastball comes in low, and it's a ball and a strike. But Stallings at 85 pitches now. That's a new career high. Into some slightly uncharted territory. He's tossed 5 2/3 in each of his last 3 appearances as well for Bowie. The 1-1. Breaking ball bounces in, down and away, as it runs the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. But again, Bowie ahead 2-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Stallings is trying to be the first starting pitcher to finish 6 innings for Bowie. The 2-1. Grounded, a high Baltimore chop to third. Mayo scoops it at the waist, makes the transfer, fires, and it's in time! Just a bit low to Dashbach, but it was picked up in a perfect 6th inning for Garrett Stallings. The first quality start of the season for a Baysox hurler, and it comes from Stallings. We're on to the 7th here at Canal Park in Akron. Bowie leads 2-1. You're listening to Baysox Baseball.
From sprains to stitches, sore throats to stomach aches, and pulled muscles to poison ivy, care is around the corner at Patient First. Walk in to see a doctor from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day of the year. X-rays, lab tests, and prescription drugs are on site, and most major insurance plans are accepted. For routine illnesses and injuries, Patient First is here for you. Patient First, the name fits.
Patient First, proud partner of the Bowie Baysox, open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day.
Get the best deals at Prince George's Stadium with weekly promotions all season. Tuesdays are Military Appreciation Night. Purchase a box seat at the ticket office with a proof of service and you'll only pay half price. Bring along your furry friend on Woof Wednesday, and it's the best happy hour around every Thursday from 5 to 6:30. $2 Bud and Bud Light drafts with other beer specials throughout the year, and live music to get your night started. It's always a great time at the ballpark, so get your tickets now at Baysox.com.
Well, it's the night that all Orioles fans should have circled on their calendar. Sunday, August 21st, when the Baysox celebrate Birdland. We know you're already loud and proud at Prince George's Stadium, but you don't want to miss this game, as the Baysox will be giving away special mystery autographed items from the 2022 team. The first 750 fans ages 3 and up will receive a mystery autographed item, so be sure to get your tickets fast. Sunday, August 21st, the Birdland celebration. Go to Baysox.com. Rolling on to the 7th inning here at Canal Park in Akron.
Fans, don't forget about the upcoming 2-week homestand at Prince George's Stadium. It's going to feature 4 different fireworks shows. Friday the 19th, Saturday the 20th, and then Friday the 26th and Saturday the 27th. The Grateful Dead Night is going to be a part of that 4 fireworks show set. On Friday the 26th, there's also a special t-shirt ticket package still available. Exclusive Baysox Grateful Dead t-shirt. Go to BaysoxShop.com to get your tickets for it. As we move on to the 7th inning, 9-1-2 set to bat against Kyle Marmon for Akron. First pitch to Zach Watson is a fastball, misses up and in. 1-0 to start. Watson is 0 for 2 on the day, a pair of strikeouts. After him, it'll be Colton Cowser and Joey Ortiz, the 1-0. Curveball misses down, and it's 2-0. Bowie needs to break out. While they do still lead 2-1, Akron has been getting at least a handful of base runners lately, but base runners have been at a bit of a premium since the 3rd inning. 2-0, and it's grounded foul, third base side. That one might have hit off of Watson's foot, and he's walking outside of the batter's box now and a little bit toward the Baysox dugout. Counts at 2-1. But Bowie has gone down 10 in a row since they took the 2-0 lead back in the 3rd inning. Cody Roberts laced a 2 RBI single to left field. And since then, Bowie hasn't gotten a base runner. They've struck out 5 times. As Watson digs back into the box. Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball misses down. It's 3-1. Watson ran the count to 3-1 back in the 4th inning before he struck out swinging. Marmon struck out 2 batters to end the 6th inning. 3-1. Called a strike at the top of the zone, and the count runs full. Bowie has an arm tossing in their bullpen. I think that's Shelton Perkins. It is. Here's the 3-2. Ripped up the third base line, but a foul. Watson sent that one into the trees. They've got outside of the ballpark. Just past the canal that gives Canal Park its name, but a little bit too early on the pull. A changeup inside, and the count stays full. Another payoff from Marmon. Swinging a bouncing ball, still foul. Third base side into the Akron dugout, and the count remains. As they've just flicked the lights on here in Akron. They've got those fun LED lights, so it doesn't take too much time as time is called. Looked like that foul ball had bounced its way back into the field of play, and the umpires wanted to make sure it didn't get in the way of anything, so someone had to go pick it up. But now Marmon sets out of the stretch third base side. 3-2. Knuckled slowly over to second. Late jump out of the box for Watson. It's scooped by Rocchio and sent to first just in time. 4-3 put out. Again, it was a bit of a slow roller, so Watson was able to make it close. But he's still retired, and now it goes back to the top of the lineup for Colton Cowser with bases empty and 1 out. Cowser 0 for 2. He walked in the first inning and was thrown out trying to tag up on a fly ball in right field. That ended the inning after Bowie loaded the bases with no one out in the first inning. First pitch, Cowser bounces it foul, first base side. It's 0-1. Again, it's an inning like that where you don't want Bowie to get affected by it. It's been a constant message this season to not let previous plate appearances, previous innings affect your approach or your emotions in a upcoming plate appearance as the next pitch is checked on low. Cowser pulled back and the count runs even at a ball and a strike. But it's always going to hurt when you load the bases with no one out and still can't bring anyone in. Bowie at least was still able to knock Gavin Williams out of the game after just 3 innings. 1-1. Cowser bounces it to first. Holding on it easily, Mike Capriz, and he beats Cowser to first base easily. 3 unassisted. And there's 2 away. "12 in a row retired by Akron pitching. And now here's Joey Ortiz. First pitch to Joey. is checked on. Curveball down and away. They'll appeal. He didn't go. 1-0 to start. Ortiz 1 for 3. Singled up the middle in the first, reached on an error in the third, and flew out to center field in the fourth. He's hit everything up the middle today. Center fielder's been getting a lot of work when Ortiz is at the plate. 1-0 pitch is called a strike. Curveball lower outside corner, and the count runs even at 1. As Bowie leads 2-1 in the 7th. The 1-1 is down and away. Count goes to 2 balls and a strike. These one-run games, constantly tense. And it's just so unfortunate that for someone like me with a history of high blood pressure in my family, that Bowie has played the most one-run games in the Eastern League this season. They were so tough to watch in the first half as the 2-1 is sprayed up the line, first base side, but it'll get out of play, foul. Count goes even at 2. Bowie has played in 36 games, decided by 1 run. They are 16-20 on the season. But remember, they started the year only 9-16 in 1-run games. The 2-2, he reaches for it and pokes it slowly to short. A high bouncer scooped to the forehead by Tena and gets the first in time. 6-3 putout. The Baysox have gone down 13 in a row. As we stretch here in Akron, Bowie leads 2-1. You're listening to Baysox Baseball.
Get your gear and memorabilia from your favorite Baysox players and future stars of the Baltimore Orioles at the Tackle Box Team Store. Jerseys, hats, autographed bats and balls, all at great prices. Located right at the main gate at Prince George's Stadium and online at BaysoxShop.com, the Tackle Box is the only place to get the best Baysox gear for you and your favorite fan. It's the Tackle Box at Prince George's Stadium and at BaysoxShop.com.
Baseball is a game of specialists. Base stealers, closers, cleanup hitters. Together, they help their team stand out from the rest. Specialists also help set Chesapeake Employers Insurance apart from other workers' compensation insurance companies. Our health services team includes orthopedic surgeons, nurse case managers, a physical therapist, and more, all to get your employee back to work, contain costs, and keep premiums down. That's teamwork. To learn more, connect with your agent or visit Chesapeake Employers at CEIWC.com.
On the Green Incorporated is your lawn care team, providing professional organic-based lawn care programs for residential and commercial lawns. Our lawn care programs provide ballpark quality results. Each service is custom tailored with guaranteed results for even the toughest lawns. On the Green also offers outdoor pest control services. Mosquitoes, ants, ticks, and more. Safely and effectively control insects and enjoy the outdoors this summer with On the Green Incorporated. Go to onthegreeninc.com.
Bottom of the 7th inning here in Akron as Bowie is still clinging to a 2-1 lead while their offense sputters. Bowie has gone down 13 in a row since they jumped ahead to a 2-0 edge in the 3rd inning. Akron got 1 run across in the 5th, but that was it against Garrett Stallings. As Stallings is done after 6 innings, the first quality start of the season for a Bowie pitcher. Stallings fired 6. Allowed just 3 hits and 1 run. He struck out 5, did not walk anyone, and he turns things over to Shelton Perkins here in the 7th. Stallings' numbers since the start of July get even better. Since July 1st, Stallings has fired 36 1/3 innings and allowed just 7 earned runs. That is a 1.73 ERA. He struck out 42 batters and walked only 3. As Perkins takes over, he'll face 4, 5, and 6 in the Akron lineup, starting with Mike Capriz, who is 0 for 2 on the day. Righty on lefty, and the first pitch is Perkins' slider. Swung on and missed. Get ready to see that a lot today. It's his bread and butter. 0-1. After Prees, John Kenzie Noel and Daniel Schneemann set to bat. As the 0-1 pitch comes in, swing and a miss. The changeup outside. It's 0-2. Shelton Perkins, 5'10", 215-pound right-hander. 16th round selection in 2019 from James Madison. Fires the 0-2. Grounded foul. Down and in on that pitch. Count stays. Perkins on the season has made 25 appearances with Bowie, gone 1-4 with a 3.94 ERA. 29 and 2/3 innings. He struck out 29 batters, walked 23, allowed 2 home runs. 0-2, late swing, poked out towards shallow short, and a leaping grab by Joey Ortiz. It was a low soft liner, so Ortiz had an opportunity to square it up, but he still had to jog out a couple of steps deep in the hole and extend fully in the air to take away the hit. The range that's possible from Joey is practically unmatched. First pitch in to John Kenzie Noel is called a strike. On the slider down and away, it's 0-1. Noel 0 for 2, a pop out to first in foul territory, a ground out to short as the next pitch is swung on and missed down the slider. It's 0-2. They've got a hard shift on for him again. That's where he hit it to Joey Ortiz last time up, but it doesn't matter here. The next pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. I imagine if Noel, by some miracle, sees Perkins again today, he's just going to keep chasing on those sliders. Perkins fed him nothing but the sliders and got the quick 3-pitch strikeout. So now here's Daniel Schneemann. Scored the only Akron run today. First pitch, he squares and bunts it in front of the mound. Perkins waits, bare hands, fires to first. It's in time. That's an athletic play by Shelton Perkins. Those PFPs pay off. 3 up, 3 down inning for Shelton, and we're on to the 8th. Bowie leads 2-1. You're listening to Baysox Baseball.
At DCA Imaging Systems, we provide a tenured team of office technology professionals ready to be your trusted advisors. From document creation, output devices, scanning and workflow, to document security and storage, we understand people print, not printers. Give DCA Imaging a call, 301-577-1021, or find out more about how we can help you. DCAimaging.com. DCA Imaging Systems, office technology made easy.
If you own or operate a building or facility, or if you're a general contractor that is located or operates in the D.C. area, there is no doubt that it is important for you to have the best trained and most qualified people working for you. Members of Steamfitters UA Local 602 provide the highest level of HVAC, mechanical, and specialty piping services to the various customers we serve. For more information about the services we provide and for a list of companies you can hire, please visit steamfitters-602.org.
Get the best deals at Prince George's Stadium with weekly promotions all season. Tuesdays are Military Appreciation Night. Purchase a box seat at the ticket office with a proof of service and you'll only pay half price. Bring along your furry friend on Woof Wednesday, and it's the best happy hour around every Thursday from 5 to 6:30. $2 Bud and Bud Light drafts with other beer specials throughout the year, and live music to get your night started. It's always a great time at the ballpark, so get your tickets now at Baysox.com.
Well, fans, On the Green Incorporated is celebrating 25 years of providing custom lawn care and pest control programs. Guaranteed results for residential and commercial lawns. Enjoy the outdoors for what remains of the summer by going to On the Green. OnTheGreenInc.com or call 410-695-0444. As we move to the 8th inning here at Canal Park in Akron, Bowie still holding on to a 2-1 lead, but their offense is still stalled out. They've gone 13 in a row without reaching safely. And Akron makes another pitching change. Their third reliever of the day is Carlos Vargas. He's a flame-throwing right-hander that can be a bit wild at points. Facing off against 3, 4, and 5 in the Bowie lineup, starting with Cesar Prieto. Hudson Haskin and Kobe Mayo will follow. As Vargas sets, right-hander on left-hander to start. First pitch. Misses wide. Fastball comes in at 97, and it's 1-0 to start. Prieto 1 for 3, singled up the middle in the first inning, but was left stranded at first. The Baysox loaded the bases with no one out in the first inning and didn't score. The 1-0, Prieto grounds it to second. High fastball, knuckled slowly over to the right side where Brian Rocchio gloves and sends to first base. 4-3 put out, and that's 14 in a row. Baysox batters just can't get it right now. Kyle Marmon tossed 2 perfect innings with 2 strikeouts. He didn't let anything out of the infield. 4 ground balls and 2 Ks. As Hudson Haskins steps in. An 0 for 3 day for Hudson, but a run scored. He reached on a force out back in the 3rd. First pitch. Haskin watches the fastball, called for strike at the bottom edge. It's 0-1. 98 miles an hour from Vargas. He's on the 40-man, 6'4", 210-pound, 22-year-old right-hander from Mocha in the Dominican. International free agent, signed in 2015. The 0-1 pitch, knuckled foul, third base side. Change up there, runs the count to 0-2. Vargas on the season has made 12 appearances, gone 1-2 with a 4.86 ERA, 16 2/3 innings. He's only struck out 14 and walked 9, allowed 1 home run. The 0-2 pitch, fouled off again inside, and the count remains at 0-2. Bases empty, 1 away here in the top of the 8th as Bowie still leads 2-1. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a piece, hit off of the catcher's glove and falls down to earth. Change up outside that Haskin was able to just get a little nub on. Made it possible for Bowie there to stay alive. Vargas was a losing pitcher the last time he faced off against Bowie. It was the opener of the series back at Prince George's Stadium in mid-July. He tossed the 9th inning in which Akron led 5-4 and gave up a walk-off 2 RBI double to J.D. Mundy. The 0-2 pitch, Haskin watches down and away. It's the first pitch out of the zone for Carlos Vargas. Well, the first since Cesar Prieto watched the fastball wide. So, first to Haskin. Technically correct. As we wait on the 1-2. Mild shift on for the right-hander. Decent gap up the middle. As the next offering comes in, and Haskin grounds it foul, third base side. At least he's making contact on both offerings here, the fastball and the changeup. Running up the pitch count a little bit early here on Vargas. Again, it's not too high. Prieto went down on just the 2nd pitch. But you want to do what you can. So I imagine Vargas will pitch the 9th inning as well. Another 1-2. Haskin sprays it foul the other way. That one exits the ballpark. It'll get out onto the street. 100 miles an hour on the fastball up and away. That's the first triple digits we've seen from Vargas. But again, a 22-year-old flamethrower. His command is just a little off. He was a bit wild in his start against Bowie, and the Baysox were just laying off his fastball back in July. The 1-2 pitch. Misses down and away, the fastball. And it runs the count even at 2 on Haskin. It was working for Bowie when they laid off the fastball last time. It came out successfully. Of course, they won the game as they lead here 2-1. Now the 2-2 to Haskin. Down and away as they played a soundbite with the pitch coming home. Count runs to 3-2. The production team here leaves you scratching your head sometimes. Already 3 times this series, the umpire has had to hold off because they haven't stopped playing music, and now they played a soundbite while the pitch was being thrown. So the count goes full. Here's the next to Haskin. Called strike 3 on the upper outside corner, and he knew it. That was the changeup. Haskin was expecting the fastball again. First strikeout for Vargas. 9th overall for Akron pitching. 15 in a row. The Baysox have gone down. And now here's Kobe Mayo. He reached on an error in the 3rd inning. 0 for 3 overall on the day. First pitch. Mayo watches it bounce in. That one knocked Brian Lavastida off of his feet. He fell back and then down onto his knees. They didn't even have a pitch speed for that one. They must not have it placed in a good spot to actually read off of the pitcher's hand, I suppose. Here's the 1-0. Mayo watches the fastball miss down and away. It's 2 balls and no strikes. But Bowie ahead 2-1.
Both runs in on the Baysox last base runner. A 2-out, 2 RBI single by Cody Roberts. The 2-0 pitch. Fouled off, hit the catcher and goes back to the screen. Count to 2-1. But since then, Bowie has gone down 15 in a row since the end of the third. Akron got their only run on a single, a stolen base, and an RBI single with 2 outs by Reynel Delgado. It's a quality start for Garrett Stallings, however. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball down and away. Mayo just a little bit offline from it as the count goes even at 2. Shelton Perkins looks to potentially take the 8th after quickly retiring the side in the 7th. The 2-2. Mayo bounces it foul, third base side. Hits into the Akron dugout, and the count remains even. At this point, Bowie just needs to break out of the stretch of no base runners. It's 4 consecutive innings that Akron has retired the side in order. Vargas trying to make it 5. 2-2. This is inside, a breaking ball. Back-to-back full counts now from Vargas. You can tell a difference between Vargas in his July appearance and this appearance. He's not relying on the fastball as much as he was back in July. As he sends in the payoff. Mayo muscles it out to center field, but right to Chris Roller. Baysox have gone down 16 in a row. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Bowie still clinging to a 2-1 lead. You're listening to Baysox Baseball.
The best way to take in a Baysox game is with a group outing at Prince George's Stadium. Everything from entertaining clients to birthday parties and even fundraising opportunities for your team, the Baysox offer plenty of options for your group at unbeatable rates with plenty of options on suites, seats, and decks around the ballpark. Your group can eat their fill and have an unforgettable time. Find out more and schedule your group outing by calling 301-464-4880 or going to Baysox.com.
Pest Now is proud to partner with the Bowie Baysox and provide their pest control services. For all your residential and commercial pest control needs, call Pest Now. For general pest control, termite control, mosquito control, and all other pest control services, call Pest Now. You can reach us at 301-231-8300 or visit us online at www.pestnow.com.
From bug bites to burns, fevers to flu, and bruises to broken bones, care is around the corner at Patient First. Walk in to see a doctor from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day of the year. X-rays, lab tests, and prescription drugs are on site, and most major insurance plans are accepted. For routine illnesses and injuries, Patient First is here for you. Patient First, the name fits.
Patient First, proud partner of the Bowie Baysox, open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day.
Bottom of the 8th inning here in Akron in what's turned into a duel of the bullpens now. As Shelton Perkins fires the first pitch into Chris Roller, it's called a strike. Slider on the outside edge, it's 0-1. Bowie leading 2-1 as the next pitch is down and away. The slider again runs the count even. It'll be Roller, Delgado, Escobedo. 7, 8, and 9 in the Akron lineup, set to go up against Perkins, who retired the side in the 7th inning on just 8 pitches. 1-1, swing and miss. Down and away, and it's 1-2. Perkins will take the 8th. Bowie will probably go to one more in the 9th, as the Baysox have been clinging to this 2-1 lead since the 5th. Next pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. Slider down and inside. Second strikeout for Perkins. 4 in a row retired for his relief outing. 7 punch-outs for Baysox pitching. And now on to Reynel Delgado. But it's on Bowie's pitching right now to hold the line, because the offense has shut down completely. As the first pitch to Delgado just misses down and away to the switch hitter batting lefty. It's 1-0 to start. Delgado drove in the only run for Akron today. A single to the second baseman deep in the hole back in the 5th inning. Next pitch, fouled off left side. Fastball up and away from Perkins, and the count evens at 1. Bowie has gone 16 in a row without recording a base runner.
They've not had a base runner since they scored the only runs on their day. It was a 2 RBI single by Cody Roberts in the third with 2 outs. And since then, Bowie has gone down in order. But Perkins is trying to keep it a lead. 1-1. Lifted up the line. A flare will hook foul. Left side out of play. Runs the count to a ball and 2 strikes now. Perkins has been working ahead of every batter he's faced, however. He's thrown 15 pitches. 13 of them have gone for strikes. He actually didn't even throw a pitch out of the zone in that 7th inning. All 8 pitches were for strikes. The 1-2. Swinging a line drive, 1 bounce at second. Cesar Prieto scoops and has plenty of time to corral for the transfer. Fires to first base, and a 4-3 putout is the second out here in the 8th inning. Well, after last night's loss, as devastating as it was, this is a bit anecdotal, but you could just kind of really see the air let out of the balloon for some of these guys. Perkins was definitely among them, as the first pitch to Julian Escobedo is called a strike and a slider lower inside corner. But I think he's coming in with a little bit of anger and a lot of that attack as the 0-1 misses down. Count runs even at a ball and a strike. And when Perkins has his slider working, he knows when it's working. When it's going, it's one of the best pitches in the league. 1-1, swung on and missed up and away, and it's 1-2. As Bowie leads 2-1 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Perkins trying for another perfect frame. 1-2, down and inside. Changeup didn't register too well, and the count runs even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So this is the first 2-ball count that Perkins has gotten to on the 6th batter he's faced after retiring the first 5. That's how dominant he is out of the jump. 2-2, swinging a bouncing ball foul, first base side. Too far ahead on the slider down, as the count remains even at 2. But Perkins, he's one of the best personalities in the clubhouse, and I feel like that's a well-shared sentiment from Bowie. It's been a great clubhouse this season, and it's what's led to so many big runs in this half. 2-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. The slider down and inside, and Perkins logs his 3rd punch out on his 2nd perfect inning. 6 up, 6 down out of the pen. A great run for Perk. We're on to the 9th here at Canal Park. Bowie leads 2-1. You're listening to Baysox Baseball.
There's plenty going on at the ballpark on Saturday, August 27th. Bowie will be hosting a special tribute to Negro League Baseball, as well as an exhibit presented by the Josh Gibson Foundation with special artifacts from the Hall of Famer's career, as well as the Baysox huge Touch a Truck event featuring dozens of construction, excavation, emergency vehicles, and trucks for all fans to enjoy and interact with exhibits as well. It begins at 4:30 and is going to run till 6:30 ahead of the 6:35 game. It's all presented by Miss Utility and comes your way on a busy Saturday, August 27th, so get your tickets at Baysox.com.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Connect with events that have shaped and changed the game and our country. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org. See you in Cooperstown, where the journey becomes legend.
Baseball is a game of specialists. Base stealers, closers, cleanup hitters. Together, they help their team stand out from the rest. Specialists also help set Chesapeake Employers Insurance apart from other workers' compensation insurance companies. Our health services team includes orthopedic surgeons, nurse case managers, a physical therapist, and more, all to get your employee back to work, contain costs, and keep premiums down. That's teamwork. To learn more, connect with your agent or visit Chesapeake Employers at CEIWC.com.
It's the top of the 9th inning here in Akron. Bowie needs some offense. They've held the line this whole time, but boy, that's been on the pitching staff as Bowie holds a 2-1 edge into the 9th inning here at Canal Park. But the offense has gone down 16 in a row since Cody Roberts laced a 2 RBI single back in the 3rd inning. Carlos Vargas continues on the mound, faces Greg Cullen to start. First pitch, Cullen watches a strike. Fastball on the bottom edge of the zone. It's 0-1, 98 from Vargas. It'll be Cullen, Roberts, and then Dashbach. They've got a mild shift on for Cullen, who's 1 for 2 on the day. Next pitch, down and inside, just missed. Slider runs the count even at a ball and a strike. Cullen singled in the second, walked in the third, and then grounded out to the first baseman in the sixth. He's been in scoring position twice, but has not scored. Bowie has had 2 different bases loaded opportunities today. 1-1. Cullen sprays it foul the other way. Count goes to 1-2. The Baysox definitely left a lot more on the table than they would have liked today. 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Cesar Prieto had a single with a runner in scoring position in the first, but it didn't bring anyone in. It just loaded the bases, and Bowie didn't get any runs in that inning. 1-2 pitch. Cullen gets a piece on a fastball in on the handle of the bat at 99. Ball bounces its way back to the dugout. The count stays at 1-2 strikes. It was a 19-pitch 8th inning for Carlos Vargas. And as mentioned, Bowie was able to take him for a couple of runs in the 9th inning last time they faced him in July. 1-2, grounded to second. Couple of bounces, and it's right at Brian Arocchio. He picks between the legs and fires an easy one to first base. 17 in a row set down by Akron pitching. So now here's Cody Roberts, Bowie's last base runner, all the way back in the third. As the Baysox have an arm loosening in their bullpen. I think that might be Tyler Birch. First pitch into Roberts. Bounced high, up the middle. Going to be a tough play at second. Backhanded by Rocchio. Sent to first, and it's in time. He was already playing deep in the hole. Scooped it over top of the bag on a high bounce and threw across his body while sprinting in third base's direction. And still records another 4-3. Well, that just shows you Bowie can't get any luck right now after they used all of their luck on that lone base hit by Roberts in the third. $18 in a row retired. Here's Andrew Dashbach. First pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball inside, and it's 0-1. 0 for 2 day for Dashbach. Pair of strikeouts. He got hit by a pitch in the second. The 0-1. Down and away. Fastball at 99. It's 1-1. Again, Sheldon Perkins was only going to toss 2 innings at most for Bowie. What a great 2 innings they were. Retired the side in both frames. 1-1 is swung on and missed down and away the slider. And it's 1-2. Bases empty, 2 away here in the top of the 9th. Bowie leads 2-1. There's been 7 total hits in this game. 4 for Bowie, 3 for Akron. Rubber Ducks have 3 errors. The 1-2. Down and inside. Count runs even at 2. The errors have actually saved this game for Bowie, because if it weren't for those errors, Bowie would be losing 1-0 right now. Both runs on starter Gavin Williams were unearned. The 2-2. Called strike 3 in the top half. Bowie goes down 19 in a row. But they still have a chance. As we go to the bottom of the 9th, they lead 2-1. We'll see if they can get it done. You're listening to Baysox Baseball.
Most people don't know what a steam fitter is. More importantly, what we do and how much it impacts you. Just take a moment to think about what your world would look like if you didn't have the ability to generate electricity, to have heating or air conditioning, microchip production, internet service, web-based storage, cellular service, and frozen or refrigerated produce. Could you imagine? And these are just some of the things that we impact. Please visit steamfitters-602.org and let's talk about how we can bring value to you.
Sky Shooter Displays by ZY Pyrotechnics will be lighting up the sky with top-of-the-line fireworks shows following Baysox games all season long. We will give you the best bang for your buck. Sky Shooter Displays include traditional shows, true pyro musicals, custom choreographed plays, and much more. The night sky is truly limitless, so don't be shy. Give ZY a try. Find out more by calling us at 570-328-1361 or visit us online, zypyrotechnics.com.
Get the best deals at Prince George's Stadium with weekly promotions all season. Tuesdays are Military Appreciation Night. Purchase a box seat at the ticket office with a proof of service and you'll only pay half price. Bring along your furry friend on Woof Wednesday, and it's the best happy hour around every Thursday from 5 to 6:30. $2 Bud and Bud Light drafts with other beer specials throughout the year, and live music to get your night started. It's always a great time at the ballpark, so get your tickets now at Baysox.com.
Well, it's a big pleasure to welcome you back into the game tonight as Bowie still holds on to a 2-1 advantage despite their offensive struggles. The Baysox have gone down 19 in a row offensively, but they still lead 2-1 into the bottom of the ninth after they suffered a walk-off loss with 2 outs and a 2-run lead last night. Hector Perez will come on and try to turn the tables here tonight. Shelton Perkins is done. Right-hander spun 2 perfect innings for Bowie, 3 strikeouts. As Perez will face off against the top of the Akron lineup. The top of the lineup that burned Bowie in the 9th inning last night. Perez, a 6'3", 223-pound right-hander. Minor league free agent signed by Baltimore earlier this year. He's made 2 appearances with Bowie, tossed 3 innings, given up 1 run. He struck out 4, did not walk anyone. Both of his appearances came in the Harrisburg series. He last tossed on Sunday in the 18-1 win and spun a perfect 9th inning with 2 strikeouts. He faces Jose Tena to start. First pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball on the lower inside corner, it's 0-1. It'll be Tena, Rocchio, Lavastida. Tena 0 for 3, lined out to center field his last time up. Bowie needs the win now to maintain their 2-game lead in the Southwest Division standings. Erie won earlier this afternoon. The 0-1. Down and inside, and the count runs even at a ball and a strike from Perez. His debut with Bowie came back on the 4th. That was the Baysox 14-3 win against Harrisburg. He gave up a solo home run to Brady Lindsley in the 9th inning, but still struck out 4 batters. Next pitch misses high. As the count runs to 2 balls and a strike on Tena. Third base playing in front of the baseline if Tena tries to surprise anything. 2-1 outside, and it's 3 balls and a strike. Well, Perez, since he was a late sign by Baltimore in the middle of the season, he's still been ramping up activity. Started in the FCL, then with Delmarva as the 3-1 is up and away for ball 4. That's the first base runner for Akron since they scored their run. After Reynel Delgado's RBI single, the Baysox pitching staff had retired 10 consecutive batters. But now Perez opens his appearance with a walk, the first walk that he's given up since joining Bowie. Tying run is on base with no one out. Here's Brian Rocchio, who's hit into 9 double plays this season. First pitch, fouled off. Fastball back to the screen, and the count starts out at 0-1. Rocchio has one of just 3 hits for Akron tonight, a double in the first inning. He's grounded out twice since then. Third base still playing in front of the line. Mayo has his feet on the grass now, the 0-1. Inside, and it hit him. Slider down and inside, and now the tying run is in scoring position. The winning run is on base with no one out. That got his foot, his back foot. back-to-back lefties gave Perez trouble, but now he faces a right-hander. Bowie is trying to avoid being walked off for the second consecutive night and for the 10th time this season. First pitch, Lavastida squares, and it hits him. Fastball up and in, and Perez has no control now. The bases are loaded, and Lavastida is going to get attended to. As the athletic trainer is out looking at him, I'm not sure if that one got his head or near the shoulder. I think they're looking at his head, as a matter of fact, so we'll have to see. Manager Rugelis Odor is down. The athletic trainer is down as well. I think they're just checking to see if maybe he has any sort of concussion. At this point, if he's already on base, you might as well just take him out of the game for now. Lavastida is just the catcher, and you do have another catcher, of course. You have two more catchers, Eric Rodriguez and Angel Lopez, who are both on the bench today. You might as well just take Lavastida out and replace him with a pinch runner in one of those two, but it looks like they're going to let him stay. But now the bases are loaded with no one out for Mike Capriz, who had the walk-off hit last night. Bowie has been walked off in consecutive games already once this season. It happened in 3 consecutive games during their series with Reading back in May on the 13th, and then in both games of a doubleheader on the 15th. You definitely don't want it to happen again today, to put it pretty simply. As Prees digs in, double play could still help you out a bunch. First pitch, Prees watches down and inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Perez has thrown 9 pitches and only 2 of them have found the strike zone. Only the third baseman plays in. Bowie will try for a play at the plate, maybe, but I think they'll try to turn 2, even if it does mean the game becomes tied. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Called a strike on a generous outside give. Fans voice some displeasure, and I'm not too sure I disagree with them, but it runs the count even at 1. Breeze is 0 for 3, lined out to short his last time up. The 1-1. Muscled foul the other way. Count to a ball and 2 strikes. Still a small sliver of sunlight left on that nice orange gradient, turning into the dark blue well above with the lights covering the playing surface here at Canal Park. Bowie leads 2-1 in the bottom of the 9th with the bases loaded and no one out. Perez sets. Fires the 1-2. Ripped right side, base hit. Akron walks off for the second time. Throw comes home. It's in time, but it's off line. And a 2 RBI single for Mike Capriz, and he's the hero for the second consecutive night. Bowie blows their second straight game, and we've got a lot to discuss with Baysox postgame. Your final tonight, 3-2. We're back after this. You're listening to Baysox Baseball.
At Luminous Health, we want you to feel your best. This summer, take the time to catch up on your annual health screenings. Visit us at our Anne Arundel Medical Center, Doctors Community Medical Center, or one of our primary care offices in your neighborhood. At Luminous Health, you are the MVP. Learn more at luminoushealth.org.
At DCA Imaging Systems, we provide a tenured team of office technology professionals ready to be your trusted advisors. From document creation, output devices, scanning and workflow, to document security and storage, we understand people print, not printers. Give DCA Imaging a call, 301-577-1021, or find out more about how we can help you. DCAimaging.com. DCA Imaging Systems, office technology made easy.
It takes time to get rich, flavorful coffee beans from the lush mountain regions of Colombia and Brazil to Royal Farms. but less than a minute to get yourself a delicious hot cup of the finest and freshest coffee in the world. Because Royal Farms' new Swiss-made coffee machines grind those rich, flavorful coffee beans and brew them one magnificent cup at a time. It's why Royal Farms makes the freshest and best coffee in the world. Real fresh, real fast. Royal Farms.
Fielder's Choice Flex Packs with the Bowie Baysox. The best value to see the best games at Prince George's Stadium. You could save up to 30% on your selected seat from day one and enjoy a number of exclusive member benefits, including flexible exchange options, discounts on suite rentals, special access to the Diamond View restaurant, and a free members collectible at your first home game of the year. Get your pack now by calling 301-464-4865 or heading online to baysox.com.
It's now time for the Bowie Baysox post-game show. Let's head back to the ballpark with Matt Savanas.
Another supremely frustrating day for the Bowie Baysox as they suffer their second consecutive walk-off loss in their 10th of the season as they lose another to the Akron Rubber Ducks tonight. 3-2. The Baysox offense completely shut off after the third inning in which they went down 19 in a row, not getting a single base runner the rest of the night. Matt Sabatas with you from Canal Park as we recap this one briefly. There's not much to discuss as there were only 3 plays that really matter as we go back in time to the faraway land of 6:37 when first pitch came home from Gavin Williams to Colton Cowser. It was a ball. Cowser drew a walk. Joey Ortiz and Cesar Pareto each singled, and the bases were loaded with no one out in the first inning, so Bowie should have been able to bring someone across, but that wasn't going to happen. Hudson Askin lined out to first base, and Kilby Mayo flew out to right field. It was just shallow enough. Colton Cowser tried to tag and score, but he was thrown out. So Bowie loaded the bases with no one out, and they couldn't score. So the game moved into the bottom of the first when Garrett Stallings took over, and he was fine. Gave up a double to Brian Rocchio, but that was the only base runner of the frame, and Stallings would then retire the following 11, make it 12 batters into the 5th inning. After a scoreless second inning in which Bowie got another leadoff batter on base and into scoring position, the Baysox finally got something going in the third after stranding so many early on. Joey Ortiz reached on an error to open the frame. Hudson Haskin replaced him on a fielder's choice, but it was runner at first already with 2 outs. Bowie looked to be in trouble. Kobe Mayo reached on another error to extend the inning, and Greg Cullen walked, loading the bases for Cody Roberts to finally get something done. The 2-1 pitch. Ripped left side base hit through the gap, and this will score at least one. Chugging around third, here comes Mayo. The throw home is offline and gets backed up. They can't go anywhere else with it, though. A 2 RBI single for Cody Roberts, and the Baysox lead 2-0. So Bowie the early 2-0 edge, and it looked like things were going to start going in their favor, but that was it. Tap was shut off from there, as Bowie did not get another base runner for the rest of the night. 19 in a row set down. Gavin Williams struck out the final batter he faced, and then Eli Lingos, Kyle Marmon, and Carlos Vargas combined for 6 perfect innings of relief, keeping the Baysox off of the board for the rest of the night. Meanwhile, as Garrett Stallings continued to deal, he did run into one small bit of trouble in the 5th inning. Daniel Schneemann picked up a 1-out single and stole second base. He was able to come around and score when Reynel Delgado bounced one to second. 2-0 pitch. Grounded right side. Prieto sprinting, diving, gloves it deep in the hole, but he can't make the transfer. It gets away from his hand, and the runner sprints home. That's got to be at least a single and an error. They're ruling that an RBI. I don't think that's the right call. But it'll be a hit and makes the game 2-1. So the lead was cut in half, but Bowie still had the edge, and Stallings was able to finish that inning and then spin a perfect 6. It's the first quality start of the season for a Baysox pitcher. But of course, all the while, Bowie's offense had nothing to back up their stellar pitching staff. Because after Stallings finished 6 innings, Shelton Perkins came on and spun 2 perfect innings, retiring the side in the 7th and 8th with 3 strikeouts. But then in the 9th, Hector Perez came on and could not throw strikes. He walked Jose Tena on a 3-1 pitch, hit Brian Rocchio on an 0-1 pitch, hit Brian Lavastida on the first pitch. The bases were loaded with nobody out. For Micah Parise, the game-winning hit last night turned into the game-winning hit tonight. Fires the 1-2. Ripped right side, base hit. Akron walks off for the second time. Throw comes home. It's in time, but it's offline. And a 2 RBI single for Mike Caprice, and he's the hero for the second consecutive night. Bowie blows their second straight game, and we've got a lot to discuss with Baysox postgame. Your final tonight, 3-2. So your final box score. Bowie scores 2 runs on 4 hits with no errors. They left on 6. Akron scores 3 runs on 4 hits with 3 errors. They left on 4. Winning pitcher is Carlos Vargas. He moves to 2-2 on the season. Losing pitcher is Hector Perez. He falls to 0-1. No save, as the game was played in 2 hours and 26 minutes in front of a paid attendance at Canal Park in Akron of 2,814. With the loss, Bowie falls back under 500 as they're now 51-52 on the season, a 2-game losing streak. The Baysox are now 23-30 on the road and 16-21 in games decided by 1 run. It is the 10th walk-off loss of the season for the Baysox. So now, with 30 road losses and 10 walk-off losses, if Bowie loses a game on the road, there's a 1-in-3 chance that it was in walk-off fashion. It's the second time this season that the Baysox have lost consecutive games in walk-off fashion after their 3 straight walk-off losses to Reading back in May. With the win, Akron moves to 57-45 on the season. Their winning streak extends to 5 games, as they're now 31-22 at home and 18-16 in games decided by 1 run. In the second half, Bowie falls to 24-10. They are the final team in the Eastern League to lose 10 games in the second half, and they will stay in first place for another day. But of course, the margins are getting slimmer as Bowie has lost these consecutive games. Akron moves to 17-16 in the second half with their win today. We'll look at the rest of the Eastern League and get you an update on the standings when we return. But for now, we break and look around the Eastern League and the Orioles organization as a whole. When we come back, Bowie has walked off for the second consecutive night. 3-2 the final. We're back after this. You're listening to Baysox Postgame.
From sprains to stitches, sore throats to stomach aches, and pulled muscles to poison ivy, care is around the corner at Patient First. Walk in to see a doctor from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day of the year. X-rays, lab tests, and prescription drugs are on site, and most major insurance plans are accepted. For routine illnesses and injuries, Patient First is here for you. Patient First, the name fits.
Patient First, proud partner of the Bowie Baysox, open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day.
Well, the Baysox are getting radical on Thursday, August 18th, as we go back to the 80s. Get that perm done up, rip off those jeans, and toss on your jean jacket for the 80s Rewind Night. A totally tubular night of the greatest musical decade with live music and beer specials from 5 to 6:30. So head on back to the 80s with the Bowie Baysox on Thursday, August 18th. Get your tickets at baysox.com.
Everyone deserves a great smile, and Rad Orthodontics is here to help you, Bowie Baysox fans. Rad Orthodontics accepts most insurance, and whether it's braces or Invisalign aligners, anyone can get the smile they've always wanted with our flexible payment options. With 2 of the country's leading orthodontists right here in the DC area, we love to see Baysox fans smile with confidence. So get that amazing smile you deserve. Visit radsmile.com today and book your free consult. That's radsmile.com for Rad Orthodontics, official smile provider of the Bowie Baysox.
We're back one final time here in Akron as we get ready to conclude Baysox postgame. The second consecutive walk-off loss for Bowie tonight as they blow the ninth inning lead for the second straight night as well. 3-2 the final here as the Ducks collect their second consecutive win to open the series, their 5th consecutive win overall, and they inch a bit closer to the Baysox in the standings. They are now 6.5 games out of first place, while Bowie still remains in first at 24-10. But things are much closer now as the Erie Seawolves picked up their 3rd consecutive win and opened their series with New Hampshire on a 2-0 start. The Seawolves put 3 runs on in the top of the 9th inning after trailing 3-2. Baysox just aren't getting any luck with the 9th inning, it seems, here and from the opponents that they need, as Erie wins 5-3. The Seawolves move to 23-11 on the season. They are 1 game back of Bowie in the Southwest Division standings, so Bowie really needs to break out of the short 2-game skid tomorrow to make sure that they don't fall into a tie.
Other scores around the Eastern League, it was a scoreless tie into the 10th inning over at Portland before the Sea Dogs picked up a walk-off winner over Richmond 1-0. Somerset demolished Hartford in a shutout 9-0 earlier today. Harrisburg finally broke out of their 7-game losing streak with an 8-2 win over Reading tonight. And Altoona demolished Binghamton 11-1 this evening. The Curve have picked up wins in the first 2 games of that series. Around the rest of the Orioles organization, there's still 2 games in action. 1 game has been quote-unquote completed. They fell into a bit of rain in the bottom of the 5th over at Purdue Stadium in Delmarva. I'm honestly a bit intrigued as to why I guess they had to suspend it. It was still the bottom of the 5th and Delmarva was trailing. 4-0, Carolina leads. That's the Brewers affiliate down in Single A, so they'll try to complete that game at a later date as Delmarva trailed 4-0. And then at the high A level, Hudson Valley is hammering Aberdeen right now. The Ironbirds are held scoreless with 4 hits into the 9th. 4-0 the score in that one. And Norfolk is holding on to a slim 6-5 lead on the road in Rochester at the moment, but they are hoping to increase, have runners at first and second with no one out in the top of the 7th inning. But again, the score we care about most on this production is that of Bowie's, and for the second consecutive night, it's a tough one to swallow as the Baysox suffer their second consecutive walk-off loss in their 10th of the season, 3-2 at the hands of the Akron Rubber Ducks, and fall to 24-10, holding on to just a 1-game lead in the Southwest Division. 2 sides are back at it again tomorrow for Game 3 of the series as Brennan Hanafy will start for Bowie. Thomas Ponticelli will go for Akron. Right-hander Hanafy is 0-1 with an 8.71 ERA this season. Ponticelli is 2-2 with a 3.52 ERA. It'll be a 6:35 first pitch on Thursday, which means a DCA Imaging Systems pregame show of 6:15. For now, though, we say so long. Matt Sabatis saying thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you have a good rest of your evening as Bowie suffers their 10th walk-off loss of the season. Hopefully it's not a trend to continue as they've still got 5 more games to play in this series. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks for listening to Bowie Baysox Baseball. We hope you enjoyed today's game and join us next time for another exciting broadcast coming up soon. This has been a presentation of the Bowie Baysox.